and I've got a sophomore in high school. The senior DU is autistic, and he is so attached. He's killing it. Hey, just killing it.
What kind of autism?
He's on
Obviously,
very high functional. Yeah, he's very high functional.
Is it more like an Asperger's?
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
But he's so attached to this dog, and so it was just this weekend was not easy. So we don't know. I mean, we just don't know how much time.
Are we on, by the way? I was going to tell you about I have a mild form of that, a mild form of Asperger's.
He's done great. You know, I wish he would socially engage a little bit more, but he's
done nothing.
He's killing it. So I'm very proud of him.
That attachment thing is really important there.
It is, and that dog was so.
Does he see him much though? Yeah.
Not as much, but it's so imperative to his growth and him coming out of his shell, and so it's been hard to explain to him.
So how's your other one? He's sophomore. He.
Yeah, both boys.
I met him.
Yeah, you met him actually 2 weeks ago. That was William.
Your sophomore.
Yeah.
But tell me, is it bad? Do they say is he sick?
He's losing motor functions because it's next to his vertebrae. So they gave him a bunch of steroids this weekend, so he's actually walking around. He's like a new dog, but we don't know, what's going to happen with that. So they told us.
I'm going to give you some advice.
They told us there's nothing that can be done, so we're going to try to go holistic.
Having gone through this life and having, oh my God, the attachments I've had with dogs, but I'm going to tell you, the best thing to do as quickly as possible, if you have to put that dog to sleep, or is to get another one so those kids have nothing to think about but the new one.
I think you're right. I completely think you're right. And what's amazing is we've been talking the last couple of months about getting another one just in case, he. So yeah, I think you're completely right.
This is what I got for the banner for Christ's sake.
I always got attached to dogs.
Well, I know you're an animal guy.
God almighty, I've always had dogs my whole life except now. And you know what? My previous wife was not the attachment kind, and I had never gotten rid of a dog in my life. We had two beautiful standard poodles, and she never even asked me if I
I like it.
I just
thought they see, I guess it does say pricefixer.com.
I think my
it
wife
was too late. I said,
Can you make it to where guaranteed lowest price is bigger?
He said, you didn't even ask me. I was so upset. They were the most beautiful dogs. The most beautiful, smart, wonderful. I love standard poodles. God, they're beautiful. I love all dogs. What do I mean? But Mark gets attached.
It seems like just yesterday.
He used to have Dobies all the time.
Oh, okay.
You used to have a Dobie?
Mm-hmm. Bella.
You've had Dobies how many times now?
2, but
I think
They
Brian.
were so long then.
25 years, yeah.
Holy shit, you're
Brian
right. Because
has
I
two.
remember your first. Dobie.
Yeah.
Which is quite unique.
Our orange cat's name is Orangey.
Brian loves Dobermans. He is a Doberman guy.
Dobie was a big goddamn dog.
Oh, he was 100 pounds in his.
But he was fierce looking, but he wasn't fierce.
Yeah. Funny enough, they're really sweet. They just look.
They're good family.
Kind of terrifying, but they're really sweet.
But I tell you,
They wouldn't let you in the house.
I get so attached to dogs. This is so slow. I'm way on balance when it comes to animals. So if my horse was like my cat was.
I remember that.
Actually, maybe make it in.
Do you miss having horses?
Copy that for almost red.
I miss having a horse. My horse was a pet,
Yeah.
so that's a big difference, man. It was not some run-of-the-mill thing in the field.
Guaranteed lowest.
Do horses attach with you emotionally?
And well, not as much as people think, but yes, but not. But I had mine from a baby, literally. So mine, before I could, remember, it was 3 years before I could even attempt to ride him. So for 3 years, I got him just at a year. I hand-fed him, walked him like a dog, called him, played with him. I did some stupid things, like I would headbutt into his neck like this because he was just little, and I'd go, and then I'd play games like I'd grab his face, and he would do that, and then he would snip at me, and then like with his like this, and then move away. It was this game we played, and I'd grab him, and then when he got bigger, he was like that. So people thought I was nuts. I'd run up to him, I'd head him, then he'd come up to me and do this, and like so. I had people around me who walked up to him and do that, and they thought, "Holy shit, he's wild," but they didn't realize he was playing. He was literally playing like a dog. So yeah, they do get weird if you raise them weird, but they're not good horses that way because they're too big.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. I need somebody to help. Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being right.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life and how can I help you? What can we do to make your life a little easier? You know, we ask that going on 40 years now, and even longer if you count before Denver. And I have to tell you, we love doing what we do, but we can only work if you call us and warn us about all the stuff going on, the problems. Right now, this cyber stuff, this computer stuff, is now at a worldwide frenzy. I have to tell you that computer warfare is a real thing. I envision a time when countries will go to war in the cyberspace to wipe out computer networks.
Turn the power off.
And do harm. I just see that time when you have country versus country in cyberspace. And I don't know what you're doing about it, but you have to do something about it. The main thing is just be safe. You know, they say, like viruses in human life, just be safe, especially sexually transmitted viruses. And the same can be said really and truly for cyberspace. If you know who you're dealing with and what you're clicking on, you can pretty much cut down on cyber problems. I think one of the main things, people opening attachments or clicking on links. I'd like to get somebody on if we can. We didn't schedule this today as our insurance day, but I'd like to ask questions of people in general. I wondered this, Mark. I know that if you get an email attachment, obviously when you download something to your computer, anything can happen in the background. But this is something I'm confused about. When you visit a website and you click on a link, just not a download, but a link like About Us or Contact Us, can those links actually be hidden commands to download something?
Yeah, of course, but
then
most of the loopholes are always closed on those.
What do you mean?
The security patches like Microsoft comes out with all the time.
So if I go to a website because we use our server that we use, and I click on About Us,
yeah,
on a malicious website,
yeah,
and there is something that would download, they can prevent it?
Yeah, long as our stuff is up to date, which it is generally. Although a lot of these people that got hit, I think this was one of those NSA tools that got released during the WikiLeaks thing. In other words, I think the government actually had something to do with this backdoor. Isn't that crazy?
So is it a backdoor into Windows or all servers?
Windows. The Linux servers weren't hit by this.
Has Linux ever been hit by major?
Oh, sure, of course.
So they're not foolproof, because isn't Mac on a Linux? Yeah.
Ultimately.
And so anyway, people, if you have any knowledge or questions, give us a call, 303.
I just wondered,
713-TALK or 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466.
If you're a hospital, and a lot of hospitals got hit with this, I mean, in order to get all your patients' records back, imagine you got to pay it. I think they're asking like 300 bitcoins, which is, you know, $500,000, give or take.
Wait. Honest to goodness, they're going to pay that much money. But what do you do?
What do you do? Think of all the lawsuits you could get.
Mark, isn't there a place they can back up that's not on the internet that you just restore?
Yeah, but the problem is generally...
Why can't you just have a mirror somewhere?
Because it backs up the crypto virus as well. So if people are making backups every night, all of a sudden the backup's infected.
But then you go to the one before that, right?
Well, that's true.
If you can find the time.
If it sat there for a long time, though, before they triggered it...
It's unbelievable what's going
So
on.
much money.
303-713-TALK. I'm telling you, it's a weird thing. By the way, we have with us Matt Corneo. He is from Compass Insurance Group. Today what we do is a fun thing. We have our help center. And you call the help center with your declarations page. And you simply say, here's what I have. And it's your coverage, along with your premium, your outbuildings, your contents, or on a car, whether it's collision or comp, how much it is, how much liability. They look at your coverage, and they let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. They don't care one way or the other. In other words, if you don't want to buy anything, this is not to sell you. This is an insurance checkup, just like a health checkup. If someone says cut down on your salt and you don't want to, you don't have to. If someone says take this supplement and you don't want to, you don't have to. If someone says we have a better blood pressure medicine than the one you're on, you don't have to switch. That's what we're doing with insurance. We are giving recommendations. Compass cannot always beat what you have, but they can absolutely help you in most cases. I would say an average, overall average, that we have been able to save people when we do these insurance checkups. Matt, I would say 1,000 a year would be a good overall average.
Yeah, Tom, our average that we're seeing is about 35%. That's about our average over what you're paying. So obviously the more you pay, probably the more we're going to save you.
Even if you love your insurance company, and most people when they say they love their insurance company, what they mean is they've never had a problem. That doesn't really mean they're loyal to you. They're not. Insurance companies are never loyal to consumers. And if you've had the same company for more than 4 years, I can almost assure you you're being overcharged. In fact, if you had them over 10 years, you are positively being overcharged. In fact, a new customer for that company will get less and better rates than you will. That's just the way insurance works. They do not reward loyalty, except in rare circumstances. Mark?
Same with cable companies. And same with Dish Network and DirecTV and all these, I don't even want to say the word.
True.
No,
but at least they, well, you're right. You're right. But insurance is more sneaky at it. They decrease coverages or change conditions like the deductibles on roofing now.
Oh, Tom, we have gotten a million calls on that over the last 3
Explain
weeks.
what I'm talking about.
Tom, had someone call me the other day, and they were frustrated with their insurance company from a hail claim because their insurance company warned them, hey, you can file this claim, but you have a 5% deductible.
What does that mean?
It means 5% of their dwelling amount. So they have a $400,000 home or $400,000 of dwelling coverage with a 5% deductible. So those percentage deductibles is percentage of the dwelling amount. So they had a $20,000 deductible on that house. So they effectively had no hail coverage whatsoever.
Can you believe that, Mark? A $20,000 deductible.
But they saved $150 over a year's time by keeping that high deductible.
I think a lot of places change. We've had calls where people get changed to insurance like that and didn't even really realize what it was.
Almost always. I think it's so horrible that they use a percent as opposed to just telling them, hey, you've got a $20,000 deductible. You've got a $15,000 deductible. It's very misleading.
By the way, a lot of people like complaining when I recommend things. It's almost like a sport for them. You know what I'm saying. If I recommend, no matter who it is, they'll say, oh, I have blah, blah, blah. When I recommend Compass, I'd say I get one complaint out of, truly, and I mean this sincerely, one complaint out of 100 maybe. Okay? The one we got last time was the most odd complaint I've ever heard. They said they changed insurance at your recommendation and saved money, and they're now with Compass. But they had some kind of claim, and it wasn't covered, and they said, you never told them you dropped their comprehensive coverage, which I find odd because you compare like with like. And I'm sure you keep notes on it. Did you guys ever research that problem?
Tom. The client that came in had no comp and collision prior to us. And then they had a hail claim, And they actually, one thing that we're very careful
Now
about.
listen to this. He didn't have comp and collision. They're comparing what you have, and in many cases they'll recommend coverage, which is what happened.
Well, Tom, not only do we compare what you have, then what we do is we go over the application and we go over a checklist to say, here's the application
So he
that
was
says you
pissed
don't have
because
comp and
he was
collision.
pissed because he had a hail claim and it wasn't covered.
That's right.
But
So
he never had hail
He
coverage.
signed off on 2 different places knowing that he didn't have comp and collisions. I really don't know what else we could have done
You
there.
can't. You can't.
Well,
Like I
and
said,
it was an old vehicle, by the way,
some
too.
people
Very old
complain, and
vehicle.
he never covered comp and collision on that vehicle, but he switched. And then he said, I didn't know I didn't have it. But listen, if you want additional coverage, many times when you look at your Dex page and you say, I have this, this, and this, they can say, guess what? We can save you $1,200 plus add this. So keep your ears open. Here's the help center number. You ready? 303-771-HELP. 303-771-4357. Another thing, when our guests are in here, it's not about them, it's about you. If you have insurance questions outside of getting a straight quote and you want to call the show, you can do so and talk to Matt. If not, Matt will chime in on other things. The number, 303, this is the help center now to get quotes on your insurance, 303-771-HELP, 303-771-4357. Also, if you've ever had a dog with a tumor, a cancerous tumor, and you've tried a holistic treatment because conventional medicine threw their hands in the air, has anything ever worked? Good question.
Holistic on an animal?
Well, the reason I'm asking is Matt's dog has one close to his vertebrae and they can't operate. But, have they suggested like chemo, or don't they do that?
No, unfortunately, they said that it's too close to a spine, and
Okay.
so it's, they can't operate.
So anyway, I tried that with my collie one time. She was a beautiful collie and had a problem with her something, and I went holistic, and it did extend her life. I will say that. If anyone has any suggestions, give us a call. Listen, we talk about everything here.
Have you had a Frenchie before this? I'm not afraid. Have you had a bulldog?
No, this is my first one. As a matter of fact,
Have you ever seen French bulldogs?
Do you remember? Yeah,
They're
I'll-
cute little dogs. Holy crap! they're cute.
If you'll, the week we got him, we came on TV with you. We brought him down to the to Fox station. I remember that.
Up to 88, as well as I-25
Now listen.
southbound from the Mousetrap down to just past Spears, I-225 in the Aurora area. Starting to clear up, however, slower speeds
You know, I'm
still
just gonna
exist
reply to
there.
him. This
Southbound
10
from
thing,
the
you get it.
Reservoir down to
Because you're not an
I-25.
employee,
The
it
weather
has
forecast,
nothing to do.
warm temperatures
It's just
today with a
real.
high of 82. The few clouds
Fish
tonight
your lives,
with a low
it looks
of
pretty
50.
good.
Cloudy tomorrow with a high of 74. Right now, 60 degrees in Denver.
Thank you.
Your traffic in
Oh, hold on.
6:30
Yeah,
p.m.
what's that?
We got Lazera out already.
I just want to get some. Thanks.
Sure. You guys
I
are
just
gonna
wanna
need a
get-
campfire in here before
Right.
too long. It's already cold.
I love it.
Okay, all good?
Yeah.
Ideal home loans? Out the way. One, their interest rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years, they refinance you free of lender fees. You pick your term, get your low rates, but you don't have to start over. 5, 10, 13, 18 years, you choose. Free credit optimization. Even if you're approved, they can make small tweaks to your credit to get you even lower rates and fees. 4, pre-approval. It's like a cash deal when you make an offer. All you need is an appraisal. 5, 3-week closes. And everything is guaranteed in writing. I could go on and on and on, but I have a show to do. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate, NMLS number 136756. Call 303-867-7000. Example based on $250,000 loan amount, 32% DTI, 740 credit score, owner-occupied financing, 80% loan to value.
Ideal Home Loans also on my referral list at referrallist.com. 303-867-7000.
If you're looking for an amazing opportunity to own a recession-proof business, Amazing Lash Studio is the franchise for you. Amazing Lash Studio is based on the same recurring membership revenue model, which has made some of the most successful personal service franchises over the past decade iconic. The beauty of their unique franchise model is that the natural cycle of eyelash growth generates recurring demand for refill services, and their average guest will utilize their service 1.4 times a month. Amazing Lash Studio is leading the charge as one of the most promising franchises in this decade. In fact, Entrepreneur Magazine ranks them in its 2017
Wow,
top
that
500
is
as the
weird.
fastest
Do
growing
you think this
franchise
makes much,
brands.
Mark, or
For more information about owning an amazing
want
Lash
to see
Studio
some quotes?
franchise, call 832.
Yep, we can run that one sometimes.
4436. That's 832-431-4436. Or visit franchising.amazinglashstudio.com. That's franchising.amazinglashstudio.com. The Stem Cell Institute of America is coming to Denver. If you're suffering with pain from osteoarthritis of the knee, pain in your low back, neck, shoulders, hips, or even suffer with joint pain, stop and listen.
It's a little bigger, right?
Stem cell
Did
therapy
you make it
educational seminars.
bigger?
You'll find
These are
solutions
bigger.
for
They're both. These are more
along
bigger
with
than
cutting-edge
those.
information.
I wonder if we
that
should
will
get rid
help
of
change the way
professional
you live. With seminars in Denver, the Tech Center, Littleton,
Let's
Boulder,
get rid of
and the
that.
far
Okay,
suburbs
so I'll put
in
instant
Fort
quotes
Collins. So you're
above,
just a short
and then
drive to
guaranteed
one of
lowest
those
price
seminars
is
on
bigger on the
regenerative
bottom.
medicine. You
Okay.
need to attend one of these seminars. It could be a
Instant quotes,
life-changing
I'll put very
experience.
fast ones, I'll
Call
put instant quotes.
888-628-1899
And then
to
guaranteed
register
lowest
for
price
one of
on
the
the
upcoming
bottom.
seminars.
It'll be
For more
instant quotes.
information, visit stemcelltherapyforpain.com. That's stemcelltherapyforpain.com. Start living life once again. Call 888-628-1899 to register for one of the upcoming seminars. That's 888-628-1899.
Wesley had IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Coming after my house, my car. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
Wesley called Optima Tax Relief.
Oh, they were great people. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call
They say this was the biggest cyber attack ever.
Yeah, I think so.
Was it the same people you think, Mark, or just different people?
No, I think someone
Maybe
lost
hit
it.
Europe, right?
Yeah, in Asia.
Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the word WIN to 200-200. You'll receive a confirmation text. Standard message and data rates apply. That's WIN.
ESPNer had miscarriage during live broadcast.
I read that.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. We have an insurance help center going on. If you have an insurance policy and you can find the declarations page, call our help center. Or if you can estimate what you're paying and what coverage you have, call our help center. They'll freely compare all kinds of companies, up to 25 of them, give you opinions at no charge, no obligation, and no biased. I mean that. 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Dozens of countries hit by the cyber extortion attack where they encrypt your data and they force you to pay ransom to get it back. Some people call it ransomware. Mostly Windows servers hit. Most people are deciding to pay the ransom, and they collect ransom by bitcoins. Bitcoins are an amazing phenomenon as far as currency. Bitcoin's a self-contained currency that, yes, you can trade on the open market as well. Deputy Dan says, just shut down Bitcoins, you shut down crime. I don't think so.
I don't either.
Although it is a way to transfer payment. Otherwise, how would you transfer payment? Everyone would have a way of finding you.
The peso, I don't know. Could be a million.
No
different
matter
things.
what, though, you'd have to have a point of pickup. And with a cyber thing like this, it's unbelievable how they can mask it. 303-713-8255. Amanda, what's happening with you? Oh, did I give out the help center, by the way? 303-771-HELP for the insurance, 771-4357. What's going on, Amanda?
Okay, so I went to, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I went to Westwood College, and I received an associate's degree in medical billing and coding.
Okay.
Associates in applied sciences. I chose Westwood because they had promised to learn the old style of medical coding, which is ICD-9, as well as the new style, or I don't know what you want to call it, but the new way of coding, which is ICD-10.
Okay, so they just said that they are adept at teaching each, or both.
I'm sorry?
They just said they could teach you both. Then what?
Yes. As well as offering a lot of extras as far as like career guidance.
Sure.
And free alumni.
How much did this
for
cost?
life.
How much did this cost?
for an associate's degree. Well, I did receive Pell Grants while I was there, but
How much out of pocket?
About out of pocket, it'll be $28,000.
Wow.
Plus interest over
Wow.
the next 10 years.
Did you get student loans? Right.
Yes, I got federal student loans, and then they have a company that they went through. So I've been paying
All right.
on my loans on top of the federal student loans since I started.
So what's going on now? What's the problem?
Well, I graduated in March of 2016. Well, in December 2015, they decided they were no longer accepting new students, and they were going to finish out the students. They're finish out as many of the degrees as they could, and then transfer other students or give them the opportunity.
You graduated in March, is that right?
Yes.
Of 16. Okay.
2016.
What I need to know now is how are you affected now by and what are you affected by? Let's just get right to it. What's going on?
They never taught me the ICD-10.
Oh, they didn't.
Mandatory
In other words, wait.
2015.
But while you were in school, what were you knew you weren't learning it? Did you ask them about it?
Yes, I did. When they, I asked them actually.
And so where does it stand right now? Can you go back to the school to get it?
No, they went out of business. They transferred.
So you
the
basically bought something, and you didn't get what you bought, and now they're out of business. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yes.
And you have $28,000 in student loans.
That's correct.
How much? I mean, I don't even understand this. You said plus you got grants. How much was this entire education total? I don't mean out of pocket. I mean the total. If somebody just had a price tag for it, what would it have been for 2 years?
Just over $38,000, which included books and
Okay,
the
so
online
basically $20,000 a year.
Yes.
With books and everything. But that wasn't housing, was it?
No.
So basically, this $40,000 education only taught you ICD-9 or the old bookkeeping.
Which is now completely outdated.
Completely. They don't even use it anymore.
No, the ICD-10 became mandatory in October.
And is ICD-9 and 10, are they so far apart that you can't pick it up?
They are completely different as far as how they assign the codes, yes. I actually got books because they said that there was a class with their accepting university of National American University who had a free class for students who had already graduated
Right.
who needed to know the ICD-10.
Yeah.
So I pursued that, and I worked with Westwood, and I worked with National American
Yeah.
University.
Yeah.
And it boiled down to, after weeks of being thrown around, that, well, you're not technically a student of National American University. We don't know how to get you access to it, but we're working on it. Never heard from them again.
Okay. What I want to know is, how can you get out of these student loans if it was fraudulent? I'm wondering if there's a way to do that.
From the research I have done, it says that as long as you received a degree and you finished your schooling with Westwood College, pretty much you're responsible for those loans.
Right, because you did get a degree. It's a legit degree. It's just that you don't have the one course that you need.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything you can do about it. In other words, I don't think if Westwood is out of business, there's no one to go after. There's nothing to go. I mean, this is terrible for you. You spent 2 years of your life plus all of that money, and now you can't get a job.
No. I mean, this was supposed to be kind of my leg up in the medical field, was to have this ICD-10 knowledge, because so many people who have been medical coders for
Is there anyone
years.
else? Is there any other place to learn this? I can't believe that with all of your education, with your 2 years, none of it will help you, and that you have to start from zero. If you were to learn ICD-10, let's say this new system, do you have to start from scratch?
with learning how to do it?
In other words, yes. Does any of your background help you learn the new course? Can you take an abbreviated course for the new system? Is there anything that helps you in your schooling? Obviously, you took a lot more than bookkeeping to get an associate's degree. And then I have another question, Amanda. Here, let's just say you're into your schooling 1 year and 10 months or 6 months, and you're not learning ICD-10. Did it ever occur to you to ask them, when am I going to learn ICD-10?
It did, and I did ask him about
okay.
a year into it.
Okay, about a year into it, you weren't learning the new system, just the old one. And when you asked them, what did they tell you?
They said, well, you still have, a couple more semesters left, and if you don't learn it while you're actively seeking your degree, you can always take the alumni training.
Okay, can you take alumni training? Are there any people offering it?
Well, they closed down the college, so.
I mean, it's really just the differences in codes. It looks like the ICD-9 is 3 to 5 characters.
I know.
The 10 is 3 to 7.
But the bookkeeping is the same. I mean, bookkeeping doesn't change.
It seems a lot more detailed.
Jared, you have a comment. Go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I was just listening to this lady and just comment, I guess. My wife and actually my ex-wife, they both do medical billing and coding.
Yes.
Both of them took the same class at Penn and Foster. My wife has actual medical experience. My ex didn't. They both make in the 20s, making pretty good money. They spent $800 on the class online. So I'm not sure why she's spending $40,000 on 2 years.
$800, and they learned how to code.
Yeah, absolutely. And they both make pretty good money. They make probably
okay. Now listen.
$40,000 a year.
Remember this. I think that the coding part was just part of it. The associate's degree, even though, a lot of people say big deal, it is an associate's degree. So here's what I think, Amanda. What you need to do is truly find, Jared, where was this course online? Do you know? For the coding?
Penn and Foster is what she went to. Both
Penn
went to.
and Foster. Okay. Listen, Amanda, you need to find something online or somewhere where you can learn just the coding part. The associate's degree is behind you. You have that. They're not taking it away. So to say that the entire education was a waste, I don't think is going to work. And if all you need to learn is the new coding, perhaps you can do it online. His wife did it online. Mark?
I went to exactly what he just said, and they actually have a course to get people from 9 to 10, and it seems pretty reasonable.
Amanda, did you hear that? On Penn and Foster's website, there is a course to get you specifically from ICD-9 to ICD-10.
Okay.
That might help you, and then you still have your associate's degree. Go to Penn and Foster. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. It's finally time for some spring cleaning, so let's get those back tax issues cleaned out once and for all.
Somebody just emailed me suggesting cannabis for your pup, so I sent
You
you
know,
a
it's
link
funny.
to
It's
that.
funny. We've had a couple people suggest that. And so Jen bought some at the furry scurry.
$699.
Really? So you don't know if it's helping or not?
Hey, did you take your dog to the furry scurry? We were there.
Yeah, he was in a wagon. He doesn't like to walk very much. He's always been lazy. I mean, there's no doubt.
You get online ICD-10 training for ICD-9 Coders Certificate Program for $699.
Once and for all, 844 Larson Tax.
Get
your life back and those worries gone. Larson Tax.
We borrowed a dog.
Oh, did you?
Larson Tax.
We borrowed a friend's dog. I think it was the cutest dog in the world.
When are you going to get another one? Think you will?
Both. I'm so busy right now.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do? And then you travel and
be in the pen all the time.
That was one great, or is one great thing about Rooney is he doesn't move around a lot, so people will always volunteer. They're like, hey, we'll take him because he just sleeps. He just, he doesn't move.
We had people come over on ours.
He used to, like, when we lived in the timbers, he used to like to chase deers, but it was like for about 5-10 seconds. So it's about all he could get in, and he's like, so.
But he just hangs out.
That's all he does. Wherever I am, there he is. And he's got to touch you, but he doesn't move. So.
My
last Doberman, my last one, not the one I have now, Dobie, had a big tumor, and it got to the point where it was sticking out, and it grew into his lung.
Your wife was telling me that.
it kind of intertwined, so they couldn't do it. It was horrible. So finally one morning I get up and the dog is like this. Couldn't breathe. So that was that. That's
You know when Dragon's Rooney's that way anyway. I mean, even when he's healthy, he's always.
Where exactly is this tumor? Where is it? Skull?
Right on his, it's right on his vertebrae. We knew something was wrong because he started losing motor skills. He would do this Bambi on ice thing where he'd walk and all of a sudden he'd just go, and he'd just fall down. So now that he's on steroids, he's walking around great.
Jared is calling from Europe. He sold a car to a couple here in Denver. He was living here. Couple won't pay him now. They post all their vacations on Facebook and whatnot. No, he's not. He's immigrating to Europe, is what he said, because I asked. But he said the guy is known in the community. His name is Michael Brown, but not the Michael Brown you're thinking. So anyway, I don't know if we should try to give those folks a call, but
Well,
he is a
wonderful Michael Brown, so it can't be him.
yeah, exactly.
He's ready to spirit Danny.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. What do you got to say? Yeah, come on, man.
Let's get rid of Bitcoin.
Do you think?
Bitcoin. Tell me one good thing for Bitcoin. I'll tell you 10 bad things.
No, there's nothing good.
Dark money, it's gambling money, it's drug money.
I know.
It's irreplaceable. There's no, it's not based on anything.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just up and down. Remember it was like 1,000 and dropped down to 300. Now it's 1,800.
That it is based on something in that there's
Need. So why don't we start our own Bitcoin company?
You don't understand. Have you ever heard of the mining for Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Well, do you know
quite
how to
understand that?
See, well, do you know how to earn a Bitcoin?
No, I really don't.
There's mining.
But what is that?
What I take it as is they, because they have math equations in there that keep people from, it's actually used in the Bitcoin that people make sure that it's not being replaced by something illegally and stuff. Or
no, what I'm saying is, so what work is done to earn it?
you have to have a computer on there, and you download their algorithm and you start processing.
That's all it is. It's processing.
Right. If you could have done it 5 years ago, you'd probably have a few Bitcoins, but now it's getting less and less of a percentage of Bitcoin that you do.
It's just so weird. They don't even know who really invented it. You know, they have theories about who
they
invented
do know,
it.
but if you think about it, all it is a made-up currency that we assign value to. But it can't fluctuate willy-nilly. Fluctuations are based on something, Dan. Somebody doesn't just come out and say it's worth this right now. There is no person.
Anybody will pay. It's like
That's
having
right.
a house.
That's exactly
It's
right.
like having a
But
house.
that's sometimes, Dan, more real than currency, in a way. Our currency is not based on anything like
But what? So
our currency.
I wonder what the percentage is that's actual dark money. And I'm talking gambling, drugs,
95.
kidnapping. 95. And
At least 95.
we should have a currency like that.
Oh, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just.
I think it's the dumbest thing that anybody could ever.
I love Bitcoin.
Martino here. Welcome to the show. We have our insurance help center right now. If you call and compare your insurance coverage, most likely you'll save. We've had examples in the past of people saving $6,000 a year, $4,000 a year, $1,200 a year, $300 a year. No matter what, if you can save, why not? Why would you stay with a company if you can save? 303-771-HELP. 303-771-4357. This is only brought to you by the Troubleshooter and Compass Insurance Group. Listen, we are talking about Bitcoins off the air because Bitcoins are the way people get paid online for all bad stuff. Drugs, slavery, prostitution, computer malware or ransomware. What is the purpose of a Bitcoin? Does anyone even understand a Bitcoin? What is it based on? It's a currency somebody made up, and you do have to earn it in a way. But what is it worth? Whatever people will pay. Just like, if you think about it, it's not so different from real money. And real money that's a funny term, real money. Real money truly doesn't have any value either. 303-713-8255. Jared is calling from where, Jared?
I'm in Europe right now.
In where?
I'm in the mountains of Georgia right now, Georgia, Europe.
Okay, if you could do me a favor and if you could get off the speaker. It's bad enough being overseas. I would love to talk to you just closer.
I'm calling on a Skype video.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a handset. I got you. Just get a little closer. Gotcha.
Okay.
Now, what is going on? What are you calling about, Jared?
Well, before I left for travels, my friends their car was giving them trouble and they needed a reliable car. I had a reliable car and they wanted it, and so we agreed that I would give them my car. They would sell their car, and as soon as they sold it, they would send me the money.
Now, do you have a written agreement?
I have it in email communication. I didn't go out and do a legal agreement. They were my friends, and I thought I could trust them.
Okay, on the email, what was the price?
Well, I didn't. You got to understand here. I was just trying to help them. I wasn't trying to get the most I could for my car.
But there must have been a price for it.
No, my car was a Honda Civic, and their car was a Volkswagen. My car was worth significantly more. They were just, and I was trying to help them. They were just going to give me whatever they got for their.
Okay, what if they only got $1,000 for their car?
Who knows what they got? It would have been worth more than that, but $1,000 is better than what I've got right now.
Okay, what year Honda Civic do you have?
Well, this has been going on since 2010. I've been trying to get this money.
Okay, so hold on. What kind of Honda Civic is it?
It was a two-door LX.
What was it worth at the time?
It's worth about $5,600 at the time.
Okay, and have you heard at all from your friends?
Yeah, I've been talking to them. The last communication, he promised that he'd pay me in 30 days.
How much did he say he would pay you?
He didn't. I guess like the original agreement. I've been trying to.
Okay, Jared, you do know if we do get anything at all, it's only going to be on a hope and a prayer, because they legally owe you nothing right now, and you have nothing to. There's no way. After 7 years, are you going to be able to collect? All statutes of limitations are gone. You've lost all your rights. So all we have to do is let's hope and pray. Let's try.
Okay, but you know what's more important to me than this agreement getting kept? I would really like a few answers. I would like some
That's
closure.
what I'm getting at. And maybe we can get this guy to answer, and maybe we can still get him to pay, just because it's the honorable thing to do. So
exactly.
Okay, so I'm willing to take a stab at it. I'm willing to take a stab at it for that reason and that reason alone, because he was a friend of yours and you got screwed. What's his name?
Michael G. Brown.
Michael G. Brown, and of course he's not the Michael Brown.
Michael Brown?
He's not the Michael Brown we know.
No, he's not that one.
Okay, and Michael Brown, now, was he married?
He was just got married.
What's her name? I mean, who was the agreement with, him or her?
It was with him. It was with both of them. They were just married.
Michael G. Brown. Tell me about how old Michael G. Brown is.
Now he's got to be in his late 30s.
Okay.
No, he's early 30s.
Do you have any kind of address or phone number or anything for him we can get off the air?
Yeah, I got a bunch of contact details. The last time I talked to him, it was on his wife's cell phone. I sent that to your producer via email.
Suzanne, did you try to call?
I hadn't yet, Tom. I wanted to be sure we should help with this one.
Let's try to help. Hold on, Jared. We'll try to help you. 303-713-TALK. We have a Skype call from Europe. Jared left. Oh, by the way, Jared, I just want to ask you, just for the heck of it, why did you, what are you doing? Did you just go traveling?
I traveled the world. I was going to find a country to emigrate to, and I found it. Now I'm in the process of emigrating.
So you're going to literally live, I mean, when you say emigrate, so you want to leave the U.S. and just live somewhere else?
Yes, make my life someplace else.
And what country is it?
Georgia, Europe.
Georgia. Why haven't I heard of Georgia?
I have.
It's a beautiful place.
Okay, it's beautiful?
There's a couple Georgias.
Georgia. Listen, hold on. We're going to try to help you out here. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255.
I wonder why he left. Was he one of these guys that said, if Trump gets elected, I'm moving the country?
It was 2010.
Oh.
So I doubt
Maybe
he
it was
said,
Obama then.
Yeah, maybe if Obama got
no,
reelected.
I doubt it. Jared, just for the heck of it, why in 2010 did you want to move? Did you have a crystal ball?
Well, I intended to travel, but if you want the honest answer,
Yeah,
Tom,
I do.
I really don't want to support the imperialism and warmongering that has been going on in the United States.
Okay. Were you
decade?
Okay. Were you born in the U.S.?
Yeah, I was born in the U.S.
You know what? I'll say one thing, Jared. I respect you for being a man of conviction and not just talking out his butt, but doing something about it. You know what? I mean, there are a lot of people who all these Occupy people, they'll tell you how bad everything is, and then they just, what do? Take advantage of it all. So Jared said, I'm leaving.
I'm not so sure our imperialistic ways can help this guy.
Well, I think we can get a hold of this other guy. And that, speaking of which, Jared, you really got screwed by the ultimate capitalism. It's called taking and not paying. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget, we got Compass Insurance Group in the house. The help center is 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. If you would like to call and get a quote on your insurance. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is the garage door company for you. Every time I open up my garage door with the cell phone app, I think about them. It's the quietest door I've ever heard. I hardly hear. 303-565-6409. Go to their website. All of their prices fully disclosed, not just garage doors, but if you have an emergency or something, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
This report is brought to you by Way to Go.
I-25 north and south of the church.
Yeah, they were a Balkan state. They were one of the breakoffs.
But imagine everything's cheap there.
North of Monument Hill. I never heard of it.
What, Georgia?
I didn't know it was
Russia.
a country.
Yeah, it used to be Russia.
Russia, like
I've heard of
literally
Georgia in Russia. I've never
invaded
heard of
them.
Georgia as a country unto itself. I thought it was like a state, so to speak.
I want to say they invaded it
Was
like
it a
2
state
years
of the
ago.
Soviet Union?
Yes. And my uncle actually lives right by there. He lives in Azerbaijan, in Baku, which is right there.
What does he do there?
He's right on the Caspian Sea.
What's that?
He's right on the Caspian Sea there.
He's lived everywhere, though. He's lived in Dubai. He lived in London. He's lived all over.
Look how big Russia is.
Oh, it's enormous.
Not as big as it used to be.
That's true.
Wait, Russia is the largest country in the world.
Yeah.
But it's almost,
Geography.
oh my God, geographically.
Geographic.
I cannot believe how big it is. It's bigger than Africa. It's bigger than the continent of Africa. No, it is. You look on this map, it is. Unless I'm looking at a map that doesn't, you know what I mean, that doesn't have the right proportions.
Yeah, well,
It's all
spread. If it's a map, it's spread out.
Yeah, they did a ground
It's
invasion.
about
it looks like.
almost as big as North America.
Yeah, no, it's damn big.
I want to say Georgia is where the Russians shot down Georgia Airline leaving a few years back.
Is that where the terrorists had that school? They went and did.
I don't know about that.
Shut that school up.
It's right north of Turkey.
Armenia. Yeah. I'm sure it is beautiful. I'm sure it's cheap too.
Imperialistic. Oh, wow.
Wait till Russia invades.
Wait till we grab Georgia. Fuck them.
Was Georgia in Risk? Remember that game Risk?
No, I don't think so.
What kind of country is Georgia?
It looks like just another Slavia, if you will. Seriously.
Or else. I will pay them, but after 12 months, I'm gone. I've been in business over 30 years, and I've never made my customers sign a long-term contract. Never. And now, my fifth successful company, Patriot Software,
And it looks like
business owners with one
George Bush saved them.
and there's no long-term
That
contract.
imperialist.
I can see where it would be geographically beautiful.
Oh yeah.
But it's weird calling it Europe.
Guess it's a little cold.
It's not Europe. Well, okay, whatever. I guess it's Europe.
You think it's part of
Russia.
EU? It's not part of the EU.
But I mean, it's like not really Europe, you know.
No, it's nowhere
It's
else.
called Europe.
It's about as much Europe as
Would you go there?
Estonia is.
You know what's weird? They're saying here that they don't call it, the Georgians don't call it Georgia. I wonder if this guy actually is there or not.
Not Jordan, Georgia.
Georgia. They don't call it Georgia.
What do they call it?
Let's see. It's a funky name. I don't know, just close.
The war's been going on for a while.
My girl likes the smell.
Okay, guys.
I think it's quite masculine.
How about this one?
My underarms aren't the worst thing to do.
I wonder if this guy's going to give up his citizenship.
Dove Men Plus Care, any
My knucklehead uncle did.
Did he?
Over what, taxes?
Okay, Seinfeld trivia time.
Oh.
Like he knows anything.
Who said this line in what context? It moved!
Oh, massage. George did it for the male.
Male masseuse.
Oh, damn you guys.
It moved.
In fact, that
Jerry, it moved! It moved? Yeah, not all the way, but it did move.
you come out of there, out of there, just looking like you just seen a ghost.
Yeah, they call it Sacramento.
That's what I call it.
It used to be part of the Persian Empire.
Oh, wow, okay. Oh, I said it was by Turkey, right?
They make good cats.
But my condo development put in a...
And rugs. Out of the cats.
Listen.
That's what makes a good cat rug.
My condo development put in a new garage door to come in and come out. Never saw a door like this.
He's probably right on it.
How's it open? Just up and down?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. I hope you never need wink and wink, but if you do, they're compassionate.
Hold on, bro. Joe. Okay.
Tell Joe that he has to listen so we can answer. Suzanne, back and forth. Get on the phone to him. I'll come back to him. We got to have back and forth because I need to be able to ask him questions, and I don't think he can hear me that well. JD, what's going on with you, JD?
Thank you, Tom, for taking the phone
Yes,
call.
sir.
I'll tell you another car issue. This has to do with a towing issue. I live in an apartment complex here in Colorado Springs, and before I brought the vehicle here, I told the management I have a vehicle I'd like to bring on the property. I'm planning on liquidating it. That was the intent.
Hold on. So you rent an apartment there, right?
Correct.
And you get 1 or 2 parking spaces.
I get 2 parking spaces.
Okay. And you have 1 car that you drive and 1 you said you wanted to liquidate.
Well, actually, yes. Well, I actually have the car I was bringing on the property, and actually I have 2 cars.
All right, hold on a second. JD, we'll collect your thoughts. I'll come back and ask you some questions, and we'll do more of this right in a minute.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. You've heard of debt consolidation. Is it a good idea? Yes. If do it the
I might be calling you next week with my own consumer issue.
What?
So we had our patio done, and we had a bunch of leftover brick, and so my wife got all the window wells, had these masons come out to do the window wells with brick inside the window wells to make the window wells look nice. First one turned out great. Well, we go downstairs, and it's 2 windows that are almost right next to each other in the basement, and she's looking at it, and the guys didn't take the brick that we had. They decided to mortar it and draw bricks. I kid you not.
No, wait a minute. What did they do with the brick you had?
We don't know. We think they took it or something. We don't know, or threw it away.
Wait a minute. Where was the brick you had?
It was in our yard or in our alley.
Well, when was this done?
5 days ago.
So you hired a company, you said, we want brick window wells.
Yes.
And here's the brick.
Yes.
And they went and did 2 window wells.
Yeah, well, we have 3 done, or 3 window wells. So they did the first one with the brick.
With the
Looks
real
great. We're happy with it. The second one, which is literally about as close to these 2 windows, they mortared it and drew the brick.
But all the brick that should be there is gone.
Almost all of it. They're saving the rest for the remaining window.
Well, what did they say?
So we asked him, and he goes, "No, it was bricked. We had a problem with the mortar, so we had to draw on a few of them." You should see. I could show you pictures. You won't believe it. Some of the bricks are this long. Oh, I've got pictures. It's unbelievable.
Some of the bricks. That sounds.
No, you literally won't believe it. It's so ridiculous, you wouldn't believe it.
Cartoon. It's like when they painted George into that big.
Oh,
President Trump
Well, then no, they took George out, they painted the guy in there.
You won't believe it when I show you how silly it is. I didn't think it was real when my wife told me. I said, there is no way these guys thought we would just.
Are you kidding me?
I want to ask.
Just trying to rile me up while I'm at work?
They painted brick.
Yeah, you got to see it. And they're not balanced and or level.
Maybe he doesn't know his guys did that.
Well, that's the thing. We've used the GC numerous times. He's great. And so he says he's going to make it right, but these masons are knuckleheads.
Well, if they draw it, they're not really a mason, they're artists.
Yeah, that's true.
What happened to their son wasn't boys being boys.
This was
Okay, so I'll switch over to Price Fixer here, this one.
force feed lethal amounts of alcohol.
What is this?
Into other young men.
Oh, this
Speaking
is
of
it.
NBC's Today,
That's
W.
unbelievable.
Piazza said his son was treated like roadkill. 18 members of the Beta Theta Pi fraternity have been charged.
And of course, my wife's giving these guys a bunch of money. I said, I'm going to tell Tom you did that. I told you, you never give a contractor money. Until they're done.
Until they're done painting the brick.
Exactly.
Now, in the contract, let's get technical. Are you sure you didn't tell them to paint it?
Yes.
Wait a minute. They actually, I mean, they used the brick for the first one.
Yes. And we don't know where the remainder of the brick.
But how did they build the first one? Did they build it up and then just face it with brick, or what?
No, yeah, they built it up. You didn't have to face it. The brick was there, you know.
What do you mean there?
Well, I mean, they just stacked them up, mortared it, and
Yeah, but the brick, they weren't. You didn't have brick window wells.
No. Yeah, so they stacked the brick inside the wells.
But the wells were metal, right?
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Because I was going to say, you do not want a brick window well.
No, oh yeah, they're metal. They're just the inside. This is just the facing of the window wells.
And who did it?
This contractor that we've used like 4 or 5 times.
You should have used Denver egress windows. They're great.
After a long day at work, a long commute isn't that bad. With Michael Brown, today at 4.
Yeah, that's a trip, man.
She's sending
To an older, are you not feeling as financially secure as you'd like to? Is cash flow
You got
tight? Are
Verizon.
you
Yep.
tiring or experiencing?
Why does Verizon suck so bad in the tech center?
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
From American
It does.
financing.
Well, so you just get right there in the corner, it gets better here.
Okay.
There's this building, weird building.
Anytime in the tech center, I don't get great reception.
FHA ensures that you never owe more than your house is worth.
My house
Hey,
is
it's Ross
fine.
Kaminsky, and here are the facts. You benefit immediately from no monthly mortgage payments, and you have access to tax-free money, all while
So we
owning
do
your
it.
home. That's right, you
Six
still
rooms,
own your
I'll
home, but
switch
now
out every
access
half
to your
hour.
equity when you need it most. With a reverse mortgage from American Financing, you can feel confident about living your golden years with financial comfort and security. Their mortgage consultants are salary-based, so conversations are simple, straightforward, and honest. Call American Financing today at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.com.
I had a client that got fished last week, and they called. They said they were Apple Care, and these clients are worth probably hundreds of millions of dollars. And so he's a smart guy, and he ended up installing a program on his computer. I mean, no, he didn't.
Just yesterday.
I couldn't believe it. I literally wanted to say, man,
Are you stupid? Right.
and of course I can't. They're probably my largest client. And I mean, I
Yeah, but
couldn't
be careful
even,
because we're online.
just couldn't believe it.
We're way out.
Poor people.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they're going to have to file an ID theft claim. And
Pay you a dime will count against you, and your rates can go up.
Nuts.
And Tom, we do more than the roof itself. We make sure that the roof will last and be energy efficient with proper attic insulation and ventilation.
I know when I needed a new roof, I called Excel. You should too.
I'll bet you he's busy, huh? Jay?
That's 761
Oh, yeah.
6400 or excelroofing.com.
I think we should have the Gene from Price Fixer fight this code.
Time to start your night with happy hour. Bar Louie. Kick off
They're
the
both
night with
premium.
local regional and craft wraps for $3.50, glasses of wine for $4.50, and Bar Louie signature martinis for $5.50. Soak up the handcrafted masterpieces created by the world's best bartenders with half-price select apps and flatbreads straight from the scratch kitchen every Monday through Friday from 4 till 7 at Bar Louie. Leave work at work. Get yourself reconnected with some old friends and make some sweet.
Did you send pictures?
they're downloading.
Oh, so
If you're familiar with
you can use the local,
Amazon
right?
Web
You can,
Services offers a complete set
you
of
want,
secure
yeah, I'm sorry.
storage
That would get better.
Did you ever order hardwood and they painted the tiles?
Brown. I can't say, but I have.
That's crazy, man. I can't believe what the guys would do.
These pictures don't do it
So
justice.
they moored it and then drew it in.
Yes.
Wow. Did they
And they
paint
say,
it?
well, they
What's it
say
called?
the brick is behind there, which I don't think it is. They're lying.
Oh, so they.
But why would they even
Worse,
put the
they-
brick behind it?
He was speechless. He didn't know what to say after my wife caught it. Supposed to go.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down. And I do.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What is going on in your life and how can we help you? We want to do it. All you have to do is call. And we do have insurance experts standing by in our help center at 303-771-HELP, 303-771-4357. If you'd like to call and get a quote on insurance, they represent 20 or more companies and 25 around. Here's what you do. You get your declarations page, say, hey, I'm paying $300 a year for this, I'm paying $100 a year for this, and $10 a year for this, and this is my total coverage. And then that's for cars or for homes. You compare contents and liability and all the other stuff and dwelling. And what happens is you can save money. Why? Because almost all insurance companies all insurance companies creep the rates up over time. And you can save by simply doing an insurance checkup and a new policy. It's that easy, no matter who they are. Only in few cases do people actually get rewarded. In fact, I don't even call it rewarded. Let's say it stays the same. Even the companies that Compass represents, they do the same thing. So no matter who you have, I've had a number of companies with Compass over a period of time. But it's very important for you to know that insurance companies do not have loyalty to you. And if you are one of the fools who think that, oh, I love this company and they love me and I've had them for years, never had a problem, I'm not going to change. I've had people tell me that. I had a guy paying so much for State Farm. He was paying like $6,000 for such little coverage. He could have saved more than half of that. And oh, nope, I'm staying. Why? I love them. Have you ever had a claim? No. Well, how do you know they're good? I just love them. Yep, love them. I've had them for 30 years. Sir, you're paying about $4,000 too much. It's okay, I love them. So that kind of person we can't help. Mark has an expression. You can't fight stupid. You can't help stupid. And it's true. Jim, welcome to the show. I'm Tom. What's going on? And by the way, Compass is in the house if you have any specific insurance questions that are important. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And the Help Center for Insurance Quotes, 303-771-HELP. That's 771-4357. Jim, you need a referral?
Yeah, I need to have a car detailed. Do you have someone who does that?
You know, we had some detailers on the website. I have a detailer that I use. It's not on the website, not on the referral list. The only reason he's not on there is because he has basically, he just does so many people. There's just, I don't know if he can, I hesitate to give his name because I'm not sure he can even fit you in. But what area are you in?
I live up in the mountains west off of 285.
Jim, Mark, do we have... I don't think we have a detailer on there right now, do we? On the
Not
referral?
that just does detailing.
What do we have?
Well, we have auto bodies that, of course,
of
detail
course.
when they're done.
Now, listen, I have a mobile detailer that I use, and he's really good. I got to figure out his name. It's Executive, I believe. Executive Detailing. His name's Steve. But here's the point. I'm not sure how far he goes with what he does, but you might want to look it up. As I said, he's not on the referral list. We don't have many. But you know who would know, Jim? Call Purefoy Chevrolet. He probably knows a lot of people. Rowley or any of his team, they would know detailers because they do a lot of detailing. They have Corvettes, and Corvette owners are very persnickety. What's the word? Persnickety? I don't know. Anyway. So, do you know any detailers, Matt?
There's a guy off of, what is it, Hamden and Sheridan. It's called Excalibur. Now, he only does the crazy high-end cars. But that guy will make any car look like it's brand new. Now, it was outrageously expensive.
Like $200 or $300?
Oh, more than that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, more than that. But, this guy's got the toothbrush and the whole shebang. It's no joke.
Now, Steve, I think, at Executive, charged me about $125 for beautiful job. Alaramis knows one. If you call Alaramis over at Pro Auto Care, he also knows one. 303-PRO Auto is his number, 303-PRO Auto. So, what's on your mind today? Let's talk. Gigi, what's going on?
Are you looking for Gigi?
Yeah, what's happening? And JD, I have not forgotten about you. What's going on, Gigi?
I'm calling about this Jeffco sexual predator unit.
Yes, what about
it? It was disbanded. It was taken down in, not too long ago. But
what do you mean taken down? I'm sure that they're going to investigate sexual predators.
Yes, that's not the point. The point is that what was happening is that there were two attorneys involved, the Harrises. It's Mike and Cassandra Harris, and they were on the other line. It was a setup on the web.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We got to start at the beginning. Gigi, what the heck are you even talking about? Tell me what you're talking about.
I'm talking about. Our son was arrested.
Okay, so let me get this straight then.
I don't know if you read the email.
No, I'm sorry, dear. I will, though. Okay, hold on. Okay. This sounds serious. So you're telling me that your son was arrested by the Jeffco Sexual Predator Unit.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you said they were on the other line, tell me what happened.
2 attorneys who are no longer doing this, they lied on the internet.
Okay.
They lied. And attorneys are not allowed to lie.
Okay. You got to back up, Gigi.
Yeah.
Your son got arrested. What was your son doing?
He was looking for girls on the internet.
So when he was on the internet, he was looking for girls, and what, did he come across a website?
Apparently so, yeah.
Okay, and then when he got this website, what happened? It was a website, is this where the attorneys were?
Yes.
Now, how do you, okay, so he comes across this website, and he apparently engaged with it, or what? What did he do?
He was going to meet up with a girl.
He was going to meet up with a girl?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened?
And what happened is Jefferson County came and arrested him.
Okay, so now tell me, what does this have to do with 2 attorneys?
Because they were involved in the sting and they lied. They're not allowed to lie.
Okay, actually they are. Actually they are, Gigi. So I'm not sure.
They're not Phil Turner, an attorney.
Okay, Gigi, first of all, stop with the names right now because it doesn't matter. But I will tell you that investigators lie all the time when they're undercover. So I don't want to get into a debate with you because it's not about that. You asked for help, so let's do that instead of arguing.
Well, I want to know why they were there.
So Gigi,
it's
when your son met this, when your son went out to meet a girl, how old is your son?
48.
And who?
47.
Okay, and he was going out to meet who? How old did he think she was?
He thought she was an adult.
Well, by the emails, he thought she was an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so he went out to meet an adult.
Mm-hmm.
How old did he think she was?
I don't know. I haven't.
Okay, that's fine. So he went out. Where did he go out to meet her? Because I really want to help you. He went out to meet a girl.
County.
Huh?
Here in Douglas County, not far from where we live.
Okay, like at a restaurant or something?
I think it was at a Walmart.
Okay.
I'm not totally positive about, but I think it was at the Walmart near us.
Okay, did he go to the Walmart?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then what happened there? Let's take it one step at a time. What happened then?
He was
hooked up, right?
With this girl somehow, and
did they
he's in handcuffs.
Okay, were they in the car together?
No, he never met them.
So it was a sting. No, I understand this. So he shows up at Walmart to meet an adult woman, and he's arrested. Okay, see, that doesn't happen, Gigi, because there's nothing illegal about that.
How old was the girl?
She was claimed on her website she was of age.
Okay, I understand that, but when he went to meet her, did he get in her car?
No,
Did she get in his car?
Not to my knowledge. All he's told me, and we're kind of careful on.
I understand. So he told you.
All he told me was the next thing he knew the police were there and arrested him.
Okay, but that doesn't. Okay, you don't get arrested because you're going to meet someone. Okay, unless you meet them or you think you're meeting a minor. Okay, or it's something illegal is going on.
He would never hook up with a minor.
Okay,
he's never done that in his life.
What was he charged with?
He's charged with a bunch of, you know how they overcharge you?
Charged with what?
He's charged with being a predator.
Okay. Now,
anything with a minor.
When you said someone lied, tell me that part now. What do you mean they lied? Were they part of the district attorney's office?
I believe they were at the time.
And how did they lie?
They lied by what they represented. How they represented themselves online.
Okay, now just let me explain something to you.
Before the Supreme Court, I have to tell you.
I understand that because the ethics rules of attorneys say they're not supposed to lie, right?
Right.
But undercover investigators lie all the time. So the issue here.
For an attorney.
The issue here is if they're an attorney, do they violate their ethics rules by lying?
That's gone before the Supreme Court.
And if they do, does that taint the investigation?
Yes, it does.
Well, okay. I'm glad you're the judge and jury here. I'm glad. So you know all this. So just go get your son. Then represent your son and get the charges dropped because you have it all down right now. You don't need any help. You got it all down.
Money.
Huh?
They've done this to more than one person.
Okay. How did they lie? How about that? Let's start there. How did they lie?
Not exactly sure, Tom.
Okay.
Being really honest, I don't really know. We haven't discussed a lot of things when we talked to him.
No, but you said he lied, so they lied. But you should know how they lied if they lied.
Well,
they were shut down, by the way, for that. When you called up and said they were shut down for ethics violations, right?
Right, that's why.
Okay, but I don't know if that taints your son's case.
Say that again?
See, the unit was shut down. Supposedly there were some ethics violations, right?
There were.
Okay, but does that mean that your son's arrest was bad? We don't know. Can you hold on a second? We're going to get a defense attorney on, all right? Why don't you hold on? And we'll talk about this. He's a 48-year-old guy. You don't get arrested for going out to meet someone. You just don't get arrested for that. There's got to be more to it. And if there isn't, then it's not guilty. Your Honor, I was going out to meet a woman. We were going to have a date. There, I'm innocent. So, see, I'm not hearing the whole story. And Gigi, neither are you. Your son is not telling you the full story. Whether or not they lied, there might be another problem here that you have to address.
Basically, they were doing what that show used to do.
This report is brought to you by the Discover Student Loan.
One new snag on our interstates here in the Mile High City. New crash C470
So they can't lie.
University. This crash is causing some serious.
But here's the problem: they have district attorneys. People
currently reaching all the way back to Quebec. Folks traveling on I-25 south of town are seeing some relief from an earlier crash. However, earlier wreck I-25 southbound just north of Monument Hill.
This was viewed as a victory for all pedophiles.
The roadway. Previously seen slower speeds in that area have all but disappeared.
I mean,
weather forecast, all sunshine today.
The guy's 48, I'm assuming.
I'm
assuming he was up to no good.
I wonder what pictures she had.
Right now it's 63 degrees here in Denver.
Yeah.
With your traffic and weather.
So apparently, he was arrested for nothing.
Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, 0 fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
So we have to see if Chizo.
That's what I was reading about.
Chizo.
So let's get those back tax issues cleaned out.
You don't just get arrested though, unless you do,
unless they promise a young girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They've done those things.
Yeah, they had a whole show on it, man, to catch a predator.
Which I did years before he was ever on the air. I did it at Fox, and we had people come to the house and they copied right down to the T. I have proof that I did it at Fox years ago. Not that anybody's allowed to copy. You don't have a copyright on it.
So you were the guy like waiting for the
We
predator?
literally did it at the house. They came up to the house, opened the door, we had our cameras. I did that years ago.
Was your heart racing like a...
And then
I would be like...
Then I see the show, To Catch a Predator. It's unbelievable. But I mean, so I didn't have the forethought to bring it to the network.
It was a good show.
We did it. We freaking did it. Kirsten Chapman and me. She was my producer. We did it. It was unbelievable. We waited
one
at
day
the
on
house.
that show, they had a guy, his friend show up.
We waited
The guy
at the
that
house.
hosted that. One of his buddies showed up.
Oh, wow.
Someone that he had known for a long time walked in the door.
You started singing Happy Birthday.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Your physician will monitor your treatment
Wow.
using advanced diagnostic.
Well, I wonder how many tens of millions of dollars that show brought in.
Surgery over 6 months ago.
It ended up, I think ultimately, the reason it went away is the convictions, a lot of them got overturned.
So please visit sun-trial.com or call
Oh, here are those pictures.
6850. We are enrolling participants now at a leading medical facility near.
They don't do it justice.
sun-trial.com or call 877-829.
Is the
I love the way
one on the bottom is actual brick, though.
Yeah.
Stem cell
God, that is kind of weird.
Let me see it.
And they're like right next to each other.
It's not even painted that well.
No, it's not.
So if they could just touch it up a bit?
Where's the problem? I don't see the problem. Where's it?
It's not real brick, it's painted brick.
That one's real brick. If the pictures don't do it justice, look how smooth and dark that one is. It's not the...
Why doesn't your phone have the large?
Because it can put off surgery in many cases.
Do they have any reels here?
Not on those. And on the sides, literally,
So
some of the bricks are
what's
like
behind it
long.
What's behind it then?
Whatever the iron window wells.
No, I mean, how did they do it?
They mortared it. Put like concrete and you know, painted
painted
it. I think they used a brush. I don't know how they did it.
Are they going to redo it?
Well, they're going to have to. They haven't come back. It's been 4 days.
Did you pay him?
No, not all of it, but she paid him some
If
money.
you chip this out, will there be brick there? Just call their bluff. If there's brick, there's brick. If there's not, there's not.
No, I think that's what we may have to do. We're trying to allow our GC to deal with this because we didn't pay them. We wouldn't have paid them what we paid them.
What do you mean your GC? Is this a new house?
Yes. Well, it's a new house. I mean, we've lived there 2 years, but we wouldn't have paid them that much to paint them. Now, if they would have just painted it in the first place, we'd have lived with it. But to have 2 different looks right next to each other just looks silly. So.
And you have enough brick to do it all. Where'd you get the brick?
It's gone now. We don't know.
What'd they do with it?
We don't know. We don't know if they
You
threw it.
You said they still had other windows to do.
Yeah, they've got enough. They've got enough for that one. They can't redo this one that we don't have enough brick now.
Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome to the show.
Okay, I'm reading about the Child Sex Offender Internet Investigations Unit called CHIZO in Jefferson County. It was closed down because of ethical violations. Now, here's the deal. Undercover police lie all the time. But because attorneys were involved, and ethics say attorneys can't lie, they had a technicality and they closed it down. But, okay, let's say that the attorneys were lying and this unit was closed down. Gigi is calling about her son, 48, who was arrested. Now, Gigi, here's what I'm confused about. When was he arrested, by the way?
He was arrested, I think it was November.
Okay, and he was arrested for meeting a girl in a Walmart parking lot. You don't get arrested for that. What's that?
He never met the girl.
No, he showed up to do it.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't usually get arrested for showing up to meeting a girl. You just don't. You just don't get arrested for that. So therefore, there had to have been some internet communications that indicated she was underaged and indicated that she was going to do some stuff to him or he was going to do some stuff to her. Because without that, just get the charges dismissed. If she says, I'm 21 years old and I'll meet you and let's have fun, or I'm 30 or whatever, they don't have anything. See, when they do, listen, years and years ago, and it's just a matter of record. I did this with hidden cameras at a home. I did it with my producer. Her name was Kirsten, and we did it. And then after that, that national show came on, To Catch a Predator. They did it, and then you had all kinds of copycats all over the country, and they did the same thing. The guys were arrested, but they all knew or thought they were coming to meet minors. Did you see any of the communications your son had with this woman?
No, I can tell you his charges real quick, though.
Go ahead, dear.
Internet luring of a child, internet sexual exploitation with a child, sexual assault on a child. Cassandra Harris was pretending to be a child.
Okay, now here's what I want to say. I understand, Gigi, you want to throw all the blame on this Cassandra Harris.
No, I don't.
Your son probably gave them reason to be arrested. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be found guilty. I'm not saying anything. But you need to get a defense attorney for your son. If he did this, there's a bigger problem here, Gigi, and you seem to be hiding from that.
No. No, Tom.
So you're telling me this? You're telling me that your son was on the internet, and I'm talking to you confidentially. You're telling me that your son was on the internet, innocently looking for a date, and had no idea.
Pedophile at 48.
What's that?
You don't turn into a pedophile at 48.
You're right. You don't. You're right.
All right.
Which gives even more concern.
This is not him.
How do you know?
I know him. I'm his mother.
I know. That's
and
why.
I'm not being silly. When he's wrong and he's bad, I know that too.
Does he live with you?
He has in the past. Not right now.
Has he been married?
Huh?
Has he been married?
Has he been married? Like, yes. No, he hasn't. He's always had girlfriends.
Does he adopt small children?
That was a hard question to answer. I asked if he had been married. You had to think about it.
No, I had to think because I was thinking of, no, it's not hard. I am actually a very sick person.
How, Gigi?
Oh, gosh, I've got a lot of health problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing this, trying
You
to...
sound like a really good mom.
I am.
And you sound like you're concerned.
I am.
But Gigi, do you think that the police serious now I'm not one who believes, by the way, people are guilty just because they're arrested, okay? I don't believe that.
No, I don't either.
However, do you think that he was going there thinking he was going to meet an adult in her 30s?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I really do.
Really? Then why would they arrest him for that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I know that they make a lot of mistakes.
Now, I will tell you this. If a girl tells you she's over 21 and she's not, you can get in trouble, or over 18, I mean, you can get in trouble. Even if she lies to you, you can get in trouble. Even if she looks over, but you have to do something to get arrested, okay? Listen carefully. If you go with the intent of meeting someone over 18, that's the intent, and the person is lying to you, once you get there, if you say, oh, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe you're over 18, I'm leaving, that's one thing. Now, that's the intent. If you go with the intent of meeting an adult, you're not going to get arrested. If you go out with someone who is not an adult, if she lies to you, you'll get arrested because it's supposed to be your responsibility to know. So these guys that go out with minors who are 16, 17, and claim to be 21 or 22, these guys still get in trouble because they're supposed to check, really. Technically, you're supposed to know who you're going out with. Now, however, if you never meet them, you can't get arrested unless the intent, and I hope you're picking up on this, was to meet someone underage.
Well...
Did he go to trial yet?
No.
When is his trial set?
It's not set. I think he's a mess right now.
Well, what do you mean it's not set? Is he in jail?
He's in jail. I think they're having a hearing Friday. No,
he's been in jail since November?
Yeah.
What is his bail?
His bail isn't much, but we don't. I think it's $1,700 or something. We don't have it.
Wait a minute. His bail is $1,700. He's been in jail since November.
Wait a minute. You know what? It is higher. I'm sorry. It's 75. I'm sorry.
75 what? 100?
Yes.
He's been in jail since November?
I think she's in denial.
Well, hold on, though.
No, I'm not.
I mean, Mark,
Denial.
I'm telling you, like, look at, obviously pedophiles are disgusting people, and that's if this guy's guilty, but just on the charge, he's been sitting in there since November.
Look what the entire reason for that organization that got shut down was fishing for guys like this.
Right.
And apparently he bit.
Now,
he got shut down because the two attorneys were lying.
Okay, but
misrepresenting them.
Gigi, that's the point. Now, let's logically think about this, okay? They were lying. I'll grant you that. But what were they lying about? They were lying about being a child. Listen, that's what they were lying about. She pretended to be a child, and your son went to meet that child. What was she lying about? What you just said it right there. She was lying. Now, if she was lying about being an adult woman in her 30s, he wouldn't have gotten arrested. What was she lying about? Gigi, you're hiding your head in the sand. Who's there with you?
No, I'm not.
Who's there with you? Who is there with you that just helped you come up with the bail? Who is your? Can I speak to your husband? It doesn't matter if they lied. What were they lying about? The underlying issue here is not whether that attorney violated ethics. That attorney will be punished for that. The unit's shut down. I don't know if that taints the conviction or the charge.
What I really want to know is why that doesn't taint anything.
Okay, it might. Now, Gigi, here's what I want to say very carefully. I understand you're trying to be a good parent. Now, even if it does taint the conviction, and because he was lied to, it's called entrapment, and because he was lied to, he gets out of it. You have to understand, Gigi, that your son is a pedophile if he was arrested for meeting a child. If there are emails or anything like that, your son, you got to come to grips with that, Gigi.
He's not a pedophile at 48, and he never has been.
Okay.
That's not denial. That's the truth.
How do you know, though? Is he going to tell you? How would you know? How would you know? How would you know?
I know because I've been through everything he's gone through, bad and good.
Yeah? Has he ever been accused?
He's done?
Has he, what bad?
I'm not going to get into everything, but it has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
I know everything he's done wrong. I've been there.
Gigi, I'm not saying he is a pedophile.
He's
not. What I'm saying is, he was arrested for going to meet a child.
That's what he was. I have a real huge problem with the stinking judicial system that allows them...
Gigi is not even thinking, allows them to lie. She's not even looking at her son who was going to meet a child. She's looking at the fact that someone lied posing as a child. I am happy that people posed as a child to lure him. I'm happy about it. I wish they still could lie about it. I'm all for them lying. What's wrong with that? I think it's wonderful. I think that if anybody gets caught... What?
It's illegal for an attorney to lie in that position.
Now, is it illegal for a 48-year-old man to go with the intent? Gigi, is it all right for your son to go to a parking lot hoping to have sex with a minor?
Tom.
What?
I don't deserve to be yelled at.
Okay, I'm asking you logically. Are you mad at your son at all for going to pick up a child?
I'm mad at my son.
To go pick up a child? Your son thought he was going to that parking lot to pick up a child.
That's the truth.
Then what? Then she wasn't lying.
Missing here.
Then she wasn't lying.
He said she doesn't know why this is happening.
Gigi.
He has an attorney.
Gigi. Then she wasn't lying. Either she was lying about being a child.
She's not lying either.
No, I'm talking about...
We're lying. We're the stupid attorneys on the other end of that line.
What were they lying about?
It's gone to court.
What were they lying about?
Court. That's why it was disbanded.
What were they lying about?
They misrepresented.
What did they misrepresent? What did they misrepresent?
They're not allowed to do
What did they misrepresent, Gigi?
I don't know exactly.
Well, obviously, Gigi, see, that's the point. Do you hear how blind you are? Does she hear how blind she is? She said they were lying. Yes, they were. They were lying. They were saying that they're children. She's in denial. Completely. She doesn't even, I mean, it's like she can't even see that far. Gigi, I have a feeling your son is a sexual predator, and I'm happy that he was lured. I am happy he was found out. He's a 48-year-old man, never married. He lives with mom. What do you think is going on? Now, I'm going to get a defense attorney on, and I'm going to try to figure out if that taints the conviction. I hope it doesn't. If he truly was going to find a child, it is sick, 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 sick. And that's what you should be concerned about. Your son being a sick pervert. Genesis Total Exteriors. If you're looking for a home improvement, I can think of no one better. I was just talking to Matt here. He's having a problem with a home improvement. People having problems all the time. If you go to Mark Szymanski at Genesis Total Exteriors, you will find siding, windows, gutters, painting, fences, decks, roofs, kitchens, baths, basements, additions, large and small. And you can trust Genesis Total Exteriors. 303-679-8509. Look for Genesis on my referral list at referrallist.com. You know, I saw this floor the other day, and it was absolutely stunning. Part of it looked like natural wood. The other looked like stone. It's called LVT, Luxury Vinyl Tile. You will be amazed at the looks of this stuff, and it's a fraction of the cost of stone or wood. What I urge you to...
That's the exact same thing Home Depot has.
We got to find out.
Joe's in a meeting. I told him to call me when he's available.
Marco.
I figured you want to talk to... Oh, you want me to get Marco?
Yeah, get an attorney if we want this lady to keep going.
Make sure they can answer.
Okay.
Marco can answer. Of Santa Fe. You'll love the way Don and Matt and their entire team.
Oh, what am I? Yeah, Marco's got a.
Pricing and selection without being just a number. Get the treatment that you want, the value that you want, and the product that you want. 303-630-9204. 303-630-9204. Paradigm.
Your child's a sick pedophile. Genesis Home Improvement. That was great transit. A little music would have been nice.
It'd be like some happy birthday.
Well, I should have known something was up when he started wanting to adopt small Chinese boys. I didn't think much of it.
You know who I'll call? Zero Risk. The ones who clean my carpets before, time and time again, because I've never had cleaner, fresher carpets. No sticky residue. That's because when Zero Res cleans carpets, they get them really clean with their patented empowered water. No soaps, harsh chemicals, or detergents. Right now, Zero
I gotta
Res is
build that
offering 3 rooms pre-treated,
campaign
cleaned, and sanitized for just $124.
for Genie. Sales, or not Sales Genie, what's it called? Price Fixer, yeah.
Yeah.
And I never have to worry about dangerous toxins left behind. Call now.
You see, Russia and someone else agreed to keep production low.
Yep, Russia and the Saudis.
I'll be curious how long that lasts.
Yeah, I know.
But see, they're the only ones
Second time
saying
we've heard that in a few months.
I think
they got to get other people involved in that. But
Yeah, well.
there's some countries hurting though. Venezuela, their production's going to start going.
I saw this weekend that they're saying the Chinese are going to start buying natural gas from us. So because of all of their environmental issues or whatnot. So
That's actually really fucking smart. I wonder if we got a pipeline.
No, LNG. Liquid natural gas.
Oh, okay.
And we're starting to get more and more.
How do we even ship that though?
Most of them, yeah, ships. They're big tankers, and they've opened up the Panama Canal, so now they can go through the Panama Canal with those big ships. And lots more. Which is a huge deal, right, to go to China. So you got to go around South America.
And thousands of people have attended. And we've all seen the work.
Yeah, we
go expecting to learn.
see. Australia is a big shipper of LNG, liquid natural gas. Qatar is huge.
That's massive though, if they're going to start buying that from us.
Yeah, it is.
Education from an award-winning fiduciary.
I still want to know what Korea. You know, this is what Korea just shot off. That one went 400 miles.
That was a pretty good one.
Well, it's kind of woke up Russia a little bit, maybe.
Right? But do you think Russia said, okay, you can go shoot in our waters? Or?
No, they don't like it.
Oh, they don't like it either?
One guy, Wayne, he was on the arrest team for the DA child internet investigation.
Was he actually? He was a police officer.
He said, Suzanne, I was on the arrest team for the DA child internet investigation.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, have him come on the air. I won't use his name.
She's retired.
She's hoping for a loophole or something that has nothing to do with her boy, is what that sounds like.
I'm telling you, a lot of those guys got off on that. I think it came down to this.
There's a few words we shouldn't use while talking about this. Taint is one of them. And then another one would have been got off. He got off on a charge.
It moved. It moved.
That's always just certain words you shouldn't use when you're discussing. But you know what? Seriously, that guy, all seriousness now, he thought he was going to meet a child.
Yeah.
That is.
It's always the first time they do it, they get caught.
I think that to catch a predator, I think a lot of them got off for this reason. The girl they actually had there ended up being over 18 most of the time, even though they made her look younger.
No, though. If you come with the intent, you can be arrested. Right.
Well, I think their argument ultimately was, but it was an adult.
Yeah, but no.
I think that's why. I think that's why they got off.
Well, just like those stings and stuff didn't have any girls in it, right? They just come to the
And
house.
what is that called with the prostitute? Entrapment. How come that's not entrapment?
That's what we need to ask, okay? That's what we need to ask.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter 303 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Matt Corneo is with us from Compass. Do we have any examples, Matt, live examples?
No, Tom, I don't. I'm going to email the guys,
Okay.
have them send some over.
Here's what I'm telling you. We have a help center going on till 4 today. 303-771-HELP will get you right through to our insurance help center. Compass Insurance Group is hosting the help center. You call up with your declarations page, and they will save you money on insurance. There's no doubt in my mind. There are a few examples where they can't. But if you have the same insurance for more than 4 years, you're most likely overpaying. Insurance does not reward loyalty. 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. They represent about 25 companies. So, and it might be, you might be with a company they already represent, but they can get you a better rate with another company they represent because it goes back and forth. 303-771-HELP till 4. Tell people about it. Meanwhile, Matt's here chiming in, and if you have any specific insurance questions, he'll love to answer them. Right now, JD, I left because I needed to talk to Gigi. This was serious. And Gigi, I want you to know, dear, I have nothing against you. You sound like a lovely woman, and I think you're just blinded. Now, I would love nothing more than your son being innocent, totally not guilty, and this was all a big misunderstanding. But it sounds like he was lured into a website where he thought he was talking to children and made an appointment to meet a child and was busted for it. She is more upset about the attorney lying and misrepresenting herself than she is about the fact her son was going to meet someone. Her son is sitting in jail since November on sexual predator charges. And she's upset that the attorney lied and the unit was disbanded. Does that taint the investigation? That's what we have to find out. Will he get off because of it? 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Now,
how many heads did that fly over?
Mark, this is a serious case. Let's talk to JD. Okay, sir. Let's talk.
Okay, Tom, if I may make a statement on that, on her call, just for 1 minute as a common man.
Please do that.
To eliminate some of this confusion, you know, they have what's called a discovery. Now, for $20, she could go down and pick up the discovery from the DA's office and then make her decision after she reads if he would said something to a child or thought he had.
Hey, JD, I want to ask you something, though. I thought that when stuff is under investigation, you can't get any details. Only the defense can.
Well, your defense and the DA, they have to present with the proper discovery 30 days before trial, so he can get an attorney and mount a trial.
No, that's what I meant. But I mean, we can't just call and get details, right?
No, well, his mom could go down. If she has $20, she can order that discovery.
Why?
And find out if he said something. If he didn't,
but why?
Then maybe he'd be, get an attorney. If he had said something to her kid.
But JD, why can she do that? I don't understand that. I thought you had to be while it was under investigation. They don't have to release anything because as a member of the media, when I used to investigate things, they would not give out details on cases still under investigation.
If they're directly related, or as the defendant has a right to work on.
Yes, the defendant does, but not his mom.
Right. Well, and then that would be like she gets his public defender. They get a public defender.
No, I'm sure a defense counsel could probably.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about.
Look over that discovery.
Let's talk about your case. What's going on?
Okay. My particular case would be that. I did get permission under state requirement to, if on private property, which is where I live, to park my vehicle there while I had planned on liquidating his vehicle
If you got permission to park a vehicle, they should not have towed it. It's that simple.
Right.
So all you have to do is show the proof that you had permission, and we can get it taken care of.
Well, and then and you always say get it in writing, and of course I did not get it in writing. So then,
so they're going to deny you. They're simply going to deny that you had permission. You have to prove it.
And then but then after that, it gets even better, Tom.
Okay.
So I have actually worked on the property, and we always give them a good faith warning to, give them a 3-day notice, 72 hours, if it's not blocking a handicapped, fire zone, or blocking
JD,
traffic.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about, 3-day notice?
You know, to let somebody know that their vehicle is going to be towed.
No, there is no requirement for that.
No, there is no requirement, and I got past that, okay?
Okay.
But then, it's better than that. Go out to, you know, I didn't know it was happening. I'm throwing the trash away, and then I see them there hooking the vehicle up, and I'm asking them what's going on. By state law, they're to offer what they call a $70 drop fee.
Yes.
And if the person has money and they're there claiming the vehicle by luck, and they absolutely by luck have the money, they're to drop the vehicle right there.
Had the money right then and there.
Right, right. And my neighbor came out and offered to, you know, he said the same thing, what's going on?
Well, wait a minute. I thought that they had to let you have your car, but you had to pay them on the spot.
Right, and I was willing to do that.
But what did they do instead? They took it to the impound?
They took it to the impound.
Hey, Mark, what do you know about that? That to me sounds like purposely running up the bill for this guy. That's what it sounds like to me.
Maybe.
Now listen, what's the name of the tow company?
Well, you know, I don't know if I should mention the players, you know, right now.
Why is that?
I mean, well, you know, it's in Colorado Springs, and everybody knows.
All right, here's what I want you to do, JD. If you have a witness to the fact that you were there and had the money to drop it, and they didn't drop it, and they took it away and charged you extra money, you can sue in small claims court for the extra money, okay? Because without the name, we can't help you. We're done with it. All right? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This report is brought to you by Discover Student Loans.
Still seeing our earlier crash on C470 affecting traffic on the south side of the metro area. Earlier crash C470 westbound at University is still there, causing headaches. Serious delays do still exist as stop-and-go traffic is currently reaching to just past Quebec. And a few of our other interstates.
Can you believe this unit was disbanded because some defense attorney complained?
Did they say why they were lying, what they lied about?
Yeah, being children.
On the internet? So usually a cop can do it, but a lawyer can't do it.
Well, a cop has to be careful too, because there can be entrapment.
Okay.
There's a very fine line.
Well, isn't that all entrapment? I mean, just like that show and like what you did, that was entrapment.
Not according, well, I wasn't doing it for the law.
Right.
But according to the law, there's a difference between entrapment and undercover work. I mean, obviously. So I don't know what it is, but that's been the age-old defense all the time, is I was entrapped. But most of the time, cops know how not to entrap. Entrapment, it says being caught in a trap, it says the action of tricking someone into committing a crime where they otherwise wouldn't have. See, that is the tricky part, okay? So, in other words, if you went up to entice someone in the prostitution thing, for example, you can't go up as a female officer and start doing, what is the word? Teasing. You have to be careful. More entrapment charges are in prostitution than anywhere. And drugs too, for example.
Yeah.
If a guy's just sitting there and you keep enticing them, it becomes entrapment. But it doesn't become entrapment if you, I think you have
seek it out?
No, you don't have to seek it out, but you have to initiate it.
Okay.
The undercover officer has to observe or be there, but they can't initiate it. Like, hey, do you want to buy some drugs? I don't think they can do that, but I'm not sure. It's truly
a fine line.
I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to find a law. Is the defense to criminal charges. It's based on interaction between undercover and the defendant prior to the crime. A typical entrapment scenario arises when law enforcement officers use coercion or overbearing tactics to induce someone to commit a crime. So does that make sense?
So my brother-in-law worked vice for years for Denver, and that's what he did, was he did those stings, those prostitution stings. He actually works for us now if you want to talk to someone about it.
Entrapment versus opportunity. The key aspect of entrapment is government agents do not entrap defendants simply by offering them an opportunity to commit a crime. An entrapment defense arises when government agents resort to entrapment behavior such as use of threats, harassment, fraud, or even flattery to induce them to commit crimes. Marianne Berry is charged with selling illegal drugs to an undercover police officer. Berry testifies that the drugs were for herself, for her personal use, and that the person she sold them to is an officer. Wait, she sold some to the officer is at a that makes no sense. Okay. Her personal use, and that the reason she sold some to the officer is that at a party the officer falsely said that she wanted some drugs for her mom who was in a lot of pain. See, that's different. They normally wouldn't have done that. The officer says, started pleading because my mom needs drugs. That's different, right? Here's another one. Marianne Berry is charged with selling illegal drugs to an undercover officer. Extremely sick, they needed drugs. Oh, this is the same thing. When the officer told me that the drugs would allow her mom to be comfortable, I felt sorry for her. I broke down and sold her the drugs. It says assessing the difference. There is a difference, but hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
What's the difference between entrapment and undercover work? There's a fine line, but you can lie. You can lie when you're undercover. Attorneys can't lie, but police officers lie all the time undercover. But you can't entrap someone, which is induce them to commit a crime. You do more than present the opportunity. You induce them somehow. And by the way, entrapment is one of the most common defenses that they bring up with an undercover sting. All right. So, here's the bottom line. Was that guy enticed or entrapped? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Keith. Keith, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom, this is Pete. Thanks for taking my call.
Pete, what's happening, Pete?
Got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Had roof damage. Insurance adjuster came out, took a look at it, agreed they're going to replace the roof, and I've received the estimate for all the repairs. It includes labor, materials, sales tax, the grand total minus my deductible, and so they sent me a check.
How much did the adjuster did?
Correct.
How much?
6,000 and something. I don't have it right in front
well,
of me.
okay.
It's a fair amount.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Well, it may or may not be. It depends on what the roofer says.
A roofer shows up who's been doing some work around here, and I don't have anything against the guy. He wants me to sign over the insurance check.
No.
And then give him the deductible.
Well, first of all, I want to ask you something. Did he even inspect the roof to see what it needs?
Yes.
Did he come up with his own list?
I haven't gotten it yet, but he's agreed that he'll do everything that's on the insurance company's list.
That's wrong. Right there, that's wrong.
Okay.
Right, it's wrong right off the bat. You see, Pete, that's ass backwards. What if there's something you need that's not on the insurance list? Then what?
Okay.
What happens?
Let me finish my question.
You'll never know, but go ahead.
Okay. Another roofer who I've used in the past who's fine. I don't have any problem with him. He's an honest business, runs a good business, has done good work, cleans up after himself, has given me a bid that is quite a bit less than the first guy. Am I free to negotiate a price for somebody to do the work, even though the number they come up with may be more than or less than what the insurance company has allocated?
The question is, can you negotiate a price that's less and keep the money? That's what you're really asking. Can you keep the money?
Yep, or keep part of it, not all of it. I wish.
Well, whatever. So, Matt, technically, if he gets it done cheaper, he's supposed to give the money back, technically.
Technically, yeah, I think that'd be the ethical thing to do.
And you are in breach of your contract if you don't, because you're supposed to pay the first $1,000 or $2,000 or $500, whatever your deductible is. They pay the rest, and if you get a break in price, you're supposed to give the money back.
Back to the insurance company.
Yeah, that's right. Technically, nobody's going to come and ask for it.
Let me chime in for just a second.
Sure.
Don't you... These people that go door to door looking for your business, I'm not saying that's what you did. Do not use roofers like that. Right now, we have got an onslaught of people from Kansas, Nebraska, all of these places, or guys coming from states that want to come and fix people's roof, and then they're not going to be here if your roof has warranty issues.
Or even do the work at all.
That's right.
I have a completely different take. You know who I'd call?
Well, of course you would.
I'd call Freddie.
Yeah. Now, Pete, let me just explain something to you. I wouldn't until I got my first estimate. Then I would.
He did $6,000 from the insurance
I understand.
company.
We'll talk about that. But Pete, this is what people should do when they have a hailstorm. They should first make a roofer do a complete estimate and tell me what I need as a consumer. I don't want a roofer who says, I'll do what the insurance company says, because the insurance company doesn't always give you everything you need. They try to shortchange you. So I would first ask a roofer what I need, then I would compare what the adjuster says, and if the adjuster says I don't need as much, I would make the roofer fight the adjuster for what I need or enter into the appraisal process. I wouldn't try to go cheaper, I would try to get more. Once the insurance company agrees to a set price that is probably more than they wanted to, then I would call a public adjuster, and a public adjuster will fight for even more money, and they only charge you a 10% commission on what they get in addition to what they said you could have. So there is nothing to lose and everything to gain. By getting a roofer who's going to do it cheap or is going to do it for whatever the insurance company does is wrong. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want excellence in roofing, Excel Roofing. They don't
Hand you a blank contract and expect you to sign over the entire insurance check. They want you to know exactly what's wrong with your roof. So they'll get up there and inspect it, free of charge, and without you signing anything. Then you'll know where you stand when the adjuster comes. And Excel can even help you negotiate with the adjuster if you need to. And when you do sign a contract with Excel Roofing, they don't even make you pay a penalty clause if you change your mind. That's because they're confident they can keep you happy. But remember, you don't pay a penny until you're happy. They don't do any of those tricks. What they do is they'll help you assess the damage on your roof free of charge and with no obligation. They'll write up a full detailed contract. They will fight for you for that claim. They will help you through the claim. They will ask for not a dime until the entire
This is so funny. So on the iHeart app right now, you ready for this? This is incredible.
16400.
The spots are running fine, but they can't hear the show. It's an IT problem. Can you imagine? So if you tune into this on iHeart right now, all you hear is commercials and then dead. Jesus. That can't be any more backwards than anything in the world.
NBC News Radio. I'm Tom Roberts. President Trump is
getting some
law
blowback.
enforcement officers.
I hope that our actions will show you how deeply we care and how strongly we feel about protecting those who protect us.
At the annual National Peace Officers Memorial Service today, Trump said the nation stands strong with men and women who protect American communities. A federal appeals court in Seattle is considering President Trump's revised immigrant travel ban. In oral arguments today, Acting Solicitor General Jeffrey Wallace...
Boy, they can shut him down anything he wants.
I know.
Who does?
U.S.
The Dems. It doesn't matter what he wants. I know. You want to protect the country? No, you can't do that.
Experts are playing down North Korean claims that it now has the weapons to reach the mainland U.S.
Yeah, we just need to bomb those. I think we can take out all their electric.
I think that's right. And then they got the, in South Korea, they got the anti-ballistic.
You just got to sweep in there quick.
Especially if they ever want to meet with President Trump.
Then you got to find them, use those big bunker busters, because you know they got underground shit. That's hit hard in that country, though. Black ops in that country is really tough.
I can't believe that they're like sheep of people that somebody wouldn't do that.
I think the political blowback would be worse if we assassinated him than if we sent missiles in and we destroyed half their country. I think it'd be tougher.
It's not like when I was fighting Charlie in the rice paddies. Whole different deal.
Founder of SpaceX and Tesla is turning.
What was the some of those from that movie? Some of the lines there.
To build a series of tunnels in California to each track of the jet.
That was the one with
The Wizards in the deciding
we had Mark Sheen was in it. What was it?
Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now. What were some?
Which is the one where he goes, "This is my rifle."
That's
that's Boot Camp.
No,
He's gonna shoot his fucking head off.
Yeah, that's Full Metal Jacket.
Even the Rambo one where he goes back, it was like Rambo 2 was a good one. First Blood was absolutely the best Rambo, but after that, when he goes back to Vietnam, it was really good too.
Connects you to your car. Learn more at hum.com. Do you have a sinking concrete problem? Denver and the Front Range are notorious for settling concrete. I'm Brian with Advanced Mud Jacket. We have the solution to your settling concrete issue.
Nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning.
Our process with sand and cement.
That was Robin Williams. Good morning. Boy, that poor bastard must have been all tied up inside, huh? That kind of career, and then to commit suicide at the end, it's just about as... You got to think he was miserable his whole life.
I heard he was really sick at the end, too, though. He had some
really?
physically. Yeah, he had some kind of degenerative disease. Yeah, something like that. Some degenerative
We had a
disease.
friend kill himself that found out he had Parkinson's. Remember that? Russ Johnson. And he was young as hell.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. This is the Consumer Troubleshooter Show, where we are trying to make your life a little easier each and every day. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. All you have to do is call us. Now, I want to say something that we have a lot of pending cases. If you ever have any specific questions, you give us a call. Today is Insurance Day. If you call our help center, you can get a quote on insurance, on homeowners, or on any kind of insurance that you want. Car, auto, commercial. Now, here's the deal. You give your declarations page, tell them what you're paying and what you're getting, and they'll take a shot at your business or tell you if you're getting a great deal. We do this periodically, and we save tons of money for people. 303-771-HELP. It goes on till 4. And then Matt Corneo from Compass Insurance is in the house in case we have any specific questions on things. So, what is going on? That's what I'm asking. We had a woman call in about her son, a 48-year-old son who was arrested for being a sexual predator. He was showing up at a parking lot supposedly to meet a child. That's what that whole sting operation was about. But the unit in Jefferson County was shut down because a defense attorney lodged a complaint with the Supreme Court Grievance Committee, or the Oversight Committee for Attorneys, saying that attorneys can't lie. Therefore, the sting operation was called basically unethical, and it was closed down. That it doesn't mean that the convictions are going to be thrown out or the arrests, because police lie all the time undercover. There's a fine line between entrapment and undercover work. What is that line? Well, I'm not a judge. I'm not going to tell you, but there is a fine line. Because that's where entrapment is, where you supposedly entice someone to break a law that normally they wouldn't break.
Usually in prostitution.
It happens a lot in prostitution, the entrapment defense. So let's talk. What's on your mind today? So many people call us about having cars towed. One guy said he had permission to park somewhere, and now it was towed. And then he went up to the tow truck and said, "Here, I have the money. Can I just pay you?" They're supposed to do what's called a drop fee. He said they didn't. They took it away and upped the bill by quite a lot by going to an impound yard. Now, if you have proof of that, you can put in a complaint with the Public Utilities Commission. Plus, you can go to small claims court and probably get the money back. Let's talk to Claritha regarding towing. Go ahead, Claritha.
Hi, Tom. Thanks
Hi.
for taking my call.
What's going on?
Well, we were visiting with my daughter, my brother, and I, and it's this little small townhome community located on South Circle in Monterey. Well, my brother was parked in
Monterey, California?
No, Monterey and Circle right here in Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay.
South Circle in Monterey, over on the right side. I mean, the left side.
Gotcha.
South Circle. So anyway, this guy, he claims that my brother was parked in his spot. And my brother didn't know. This is his first time visiting with my daughter. So when we come out to leave and he's looking for his car, he's like, where's my car? And in the meantime, there's this red tow truck, doesn't even have any, like, markings on it.
And took it away. But who complained that he was parking in his spot?
A resident at one of those little townhomes.
Okay.
A resident. And so they took his car away. And we were looking for it. We couldn't find it. And so
now, was he parked in her spot or his spot?
His spot. It was parked in his spot, he says. And there are no signs.
But was he parked? Was your brother parked? First of all, why was your brother... What's that, Claritha?
Yes, he was parked in his spot, but he didn't know. He didn't know where he was supposed to park. He was just coming to visit my daughter for the first time.
And does your daughter live there?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now I understand. I was just wondering why he picked the parking lot to begin with, but that's the parking lot where your daughter lives.
Yes.
Now, is there a sign, guest parking?
No. No, there are no signs anywhere stating where you can and cannot park and that you'll be towed.
Well, then they can't tow you. They can't tow him. He can get all of his money back.
I took pictures of the parking lot.
Okay. If there are no signs, in fact, they have to be at least, I think, 2 feet, and they have to be a certain distance. So what did the tow truck company say?
He says, well, this guy calls me, quote, this guy calls me and says that, hey, this person is parked in my parking spot, so I want you to come and get the car. So I came and got it.
Right,
and
but I have to tell you something, okay? Both of them are wrong. Here's what you have to do. You have to pay it to get it out. You're not going to win this battle. You have to pay it, but once you get it, you can sue the tenant that called, and you can sue the tow truck company, and they will have to reimburse your brother. They will have to, because they broke state law without a sign.
Okay.
But that's what you have to do. And unfortunately, if your brother doesn't live around here, he's going to have to be inconvenienced. Or perhaps...
No, he lives here.
Good. Because they can't do it without a sign. You have the photos, you have the proof, and I forget what size it is, Mark, but it's pretty clear. It has to be warned. That it has to say that. Now, I want to ask something to Matt at Compass Insurance. If I get towed, is that covered by insurance? I wondered about that. Is that an insurable loss?
No, it isn't. Now, you're going to have towing on your policy. Well, the event...
No, I'm talking about if I park illegally, I don't get it. It's not. But what if I'm stuck roadside, I could have it, right?
Sure, yeah. If your policy has roadside, yeah. But there's an event that caused that. There'd be a covered event, whether it's the car broke down, that type of thing.
But if it's an accident, is it covered as part of the accident?
It is.
All right. 303-713-8255. We have lines open for the first time today. Emily, oops, sorry, I got the wrong line there. Emily, what's going on?
Hi, so I have a question. My son is 17. He's about to turn 18 in August, and his girlfriend is 15. Here's the thing. I don't know if they're having sex, but I want to know, what does the law say about that, because I don't want him to get in trouble.
Well, he's going to get in trouble if the parents are pissed off, I'll tell you that.
Well,
now, there has to be a complaint.
Know that they're dating.
There has to be a complaint. However, there's a short ride from lovely bliss to complaining, especially if he finds another woman, or if he, oh my God. In fact, it can even be a year down the road. If he finds another girlfriend, if he breaks up with her now and she's fine with it, she's trying to get back together with him, and a year down the road he finds a girlfriend, she can go to the police and say she was raped last year. They will go and arrest him for a year later. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've seen guys arrested 2 years after an event saying that somebody raped me. And it'll turn your son's life upside down. So there is nothing good that can come from a relationship between 18 and 15, because it's rape, and it is terrible. It's even he'll be a predator. He'll have to register the rest of his life. Especially now, there is a rule about if they're not too many years apart. But why even play with that? And I don't know what that rule is, but there's a rule, and we have to get an attorney to tell us. But
see, he's 17 now, and they're dating now. She's going to turn 16 this month.
Okay, there is a certain rule, but I'm going to tell you something. You have a dangerous situation when one of the parties is over 18. Now, remember this. Guys can be accused of rape, and so can women, of course, but mostly guys do. Guys are accused of rape a lot out of jealousy and anger, and it will ruin their lives. You do not understand how it will turn their lives upside down. Now, of course, if the bastards do rape people, they should be punished, but I'm talking about the times when it's not true. I'm talking about those few times when it's not true. Let's talk to our criminal defense attorney specifically, though, and he's on the line right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, Joe, you don't know the law on rape for a minor and an 18-year-old? Isn't there some kind of weird?
So it is somewhat an exception. What I'm just kind of looking at is it says in Colorado, a person who is under 15 can legally consent to have sex with someone who is no more than 4 years older.
So that's a weird law in Colorado. So someone who is how old?
Who is under 15. Can legally consent to have sex with someone.
Do you mean over 15, Joe?
Do you mean over 15 or under?
Over 15.
Over, right, over 15. So if someone is over 15, let's say she's 16, she can legally have sex with someone no older than 4 years older.
Right.
Okay, so that's 16, and that would be she can have sex consensually with someone up to 20.
Right. Well, how do I protect my son?
You don't.
Right now,
you don't, because here's why. Joe, and correct me if I'm wrong.
So
Joe,
I'm looking at this, and another section says the age of consent is 17.
Yeah, so, see, this is weird. The age of consent. And Joe, we've seen cases like this. I'm trying to tell Emily about her son. Haven't we seen cases where a girl gets angry, and a year or two later, that she can accuse the guy of rape?
Absolutely, yeah.
And isn't that a terrible thing to try to go back and defend yourself from a year or two ago?
And it happens, and that's the thing. When you're dealing with somebody, especially under the age of 17, they make the allegation, and you're defending it, and you're stuck in front of court.
Yes.
And what's your defense? Yes, we did have sex. No, we did not. And if you did, you can be violating the law. See, here's what I'm saying, Emily. It's just not worth it. Unless she's 17, he is crazy to just play with this. It's crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, he's 17 now. They've been dating for I think 8 months now, but he's turning 18 in a couple of months.
Yeah,
and
but
that's what I'm afraid of.
And she's going to be 16.
Correct. I mean, the parents know about it. He goes to dinner over to their house, but I mean,
what are they going to do? Let's look at the real thing here. Even if mom says, "Hey, quit dating him," I mean, what are you going to do?
But here's the reality, okay? I'm just saying the reality is this, and Joe will tell you this. We have seen many times where a girl is angry and a year or two or even 3 years later complains of sexual abuse or rape. And all I'm saying is, nothing good can come from it. Nothing. Now, a lot of bad can come from it, but nothing good, okay? Now, if they're truly in love, they'll be in love when she's 17. But I'm telling you that you should advise your son against it. And like Mark said, you can't force him. But it is hell to pay. And you keep saying the parents know. What difference does that make?
No, it doesn't make any difference. You're right. I'm just trying to protect my son because it could go wrong, like you said. It can go real fast.
You can't protect your son unless he wants to protect himself because you can't watch over him.
That is true.
But, man, that age difference can kill you.
But a lot of it's just purely if they're sexually active. I mean, if they're not, then I don't think any of this matters, right? I mean, that's where
Now, Joe, the laws seem to be conflicting. One says over the age of 15, she can consent to sex with someone no more than 4 years older. But then on the other hand, it says the age of consent is 17. So which is it?
So there's different segments within this law about whether you fall within a felony, within a misdemeanor, how old the difference is between the two parties. So if the alleged victim is between 15 and 17, then the alleged perpetrator cannot be more than 10 years older. So what are the ages of these two people?
They're 17.
he's turning 18 in August. She's turning 16 this month.
So basically 16 and 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way I read it, it sounds like they're legal. I mean.
Yeah, I would think it's legal. I think because they're within that 4-year time frame, there should be no problem. They obviously should not.
Unless, of course, she changes her mind on that. But you're right, any girl can do that. So that's not an age thing. That's just any kid can get in trouble for that. So here's the deal, Emily. You know, it's whatever. Okay, because she's within that 4-year thing, right, Joe? She can give consent, and she's over 15, right?
Right.
Like a 12-year-old can't consent to have sex, but a 15-year-old can.
Yeah.
But the 15-year-old can only consent to someone not older than 4 years older than her.
Yeah, they have to be within that same range as the
unless they're 17, and then it can't be older than 10 years.
Yeah.
Man, that's weird. Though, how complicated is that? Maybe we give our kids cards to call them screw cards to carry around. That's how ridiculous it gets. I mean, it's scary. It's a scary world. Joe, we have a very important question, though, regarding this Jeffco investigation. If you could hold on a second. I'm really hoping you can. It's very important. Right now, though, I want to tell you about Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. Right now, rates have gone up a little. They've come down again. And people say, when do they hit the bottom? The bottom line is this. It doesn't matter when they hit the bottom with Ideal Home Loans because they have a guarantee on the rate, okay? It's their interest rate guarantee. If rates go down by 0.75% or more over the next 2 years, after you refinance or you buy with them, they will rewrite that loan free of all charge, except for the normal fees, like, of course, your escrows and stuff, right? Give them a call for their interest rate guarantee. Also, their credit optimization and their pre-approval, and in all cases, they can close you in 3 weeks or less. And that pre-approval, by the way, is a true pre-approval. If the house appraises and you get title work done, you can close. And that's like a cash deal. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com.
A good shutdown would help make this country's wallet great again. It would also make time for a nice trip down to Marla's. Play a little golf, have a beautiful meal. Terrific. You make your wallet great again. Never shut down your radio. Okay?
Listen to win $1,000 every hour on the hour. Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Of all the wallets, mine is obviously the greatest.
$1,000.
But yours could be pretty good too, okay?
On 630 K-How.
What's that?
Here comes the walls. Mine is the greatest.
Interstate as you head across Denver this Monday afternoon, or the craft C470 westbound at University.
You know it's supposed to snow this week?
I'm not going to do the spot for iHeart. I'm just going to mention it. Okay, I'm just mentioning it in the program sometime. I will do it.
Vehicle I-25 northbound approaching 58. Incident causing stop and go traffic.
Yeah, can you believe it?
Street, and some construction I-25
I gotta see when. I think it's Thursday.
Currently has the right lane blocked to aisle 2 or ortho 30 to I-76. Your weather forecast, all sunshine today with a high of 82. Calm night tonight with a low of 50.
Yeah, look at that.
Scattered clouds tomorrow with a high of 74. Right now, 69 degrees in Denver.
Friday, too.
Yeah, 2 days of snow.
Man, you're making this
With a unique blend of botanicals and oils to help improve the look of skin. Plus, own your skin. Get new Mederma Quick Dry Oil. It's an
Have you ever seen those people that smile and they kind of cover their mouth, or they look away, or they do what I call the closed mouth smile? That's because they're ashamed of their smile. And you know, when you're older, some of us didn't have enough money for braces when we were younger. Our parents couldn't afford it. If you're older and you want straight, beautiful teeth, you know, one of the options, a mouthful of veneers. Seriously. They cost about $3,000 a piece, sometimes $2,500. It costs you about $50,000 to get your mouth done. For a fraction of that cost, you can have orthodontics done. You say, wait a minute, I'm an older person, but you can have it done now naturally without extractions and without any surgery. Dr. Kent Lawson has pioneered a way to expand the palate even at an older age using these special appliances, and to straighten your teeth naturally as well when he does that. And when he does it, it takes anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. And you have minimal time in braces And when you do, they're Invisalign. So you can get a beautiful smile in 2 years tops with Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. And the reason they call them NTMJ is because they can help with TMJ and some sleep apneas if you get your mouth and jaw aligned. Dr. Kent Lawson for a beautiful, natural smile. Give him a call, 303-690-0100, 303-690-0100.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for a care guide and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Compass Insurance Group is with us today. They're going to tell you that you're insured, you know, for pain and suffering and all those losses. If you run into somebody and they don't have insurance, you can actually go to your own insurance company for that loss. Or you can go to their insurance company for that loss. But this is one of the losses that insurance companies fight tooth and nail. That's why if you're injured and you need help recovering money for those extra losses, the loss of income, the loss of quality of life, maybe you're disabled. If you need a pain and suffering claim, you need an attorney. Of course, John Fuller does not charge unless, of course, he collects, and a small percentage at that. So all consultations are complimentary. When you decide to hire him, then he only collects if you collect. John Fuller has been doing this a long time. He's the go-to guy for us on the show when we need an expert, and we send anyone we know to JohnRFuller.com. John Fuller, Fuller Law on our referral list at referralist.com. 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500.
Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the word money to 200-200. You'll receive a confirmation text. Standard message and data rates of...
Tom Martino live on the air, and we are from Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and other places around the country because of the iHeart app. That's an iHeart app that you can download, and I am telling you, you can listen to us from anywhere. You can get archives of the show. In fact, you can listen to any talk show or any music show, whatever you want. You can listen to radio stations where you grew up. It allows you to pre-program anything you want or just find it on the fly if you search Troubleshooter or anything else you want to listen to. That's iHeartRadio. So Joe Lazara got a very important question for you. Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. He's on our referral list at referralist.com. Joe, we were talking a lot about this Jeffco County unit that was shut down, Chizo, or I think it was called, and they were shut down because a defense attorney made an argument that they were that the attorneys were acting unethically because they're not supposed to lie. Did you hear about that?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So in any case, they were shut down. And the question is, what happens to the arrests they made while they were actively lying?
So that will be an independent review by the district attorney. I know the AG's office was looking at it for a period of time. And so attorneys can either raise that issue and argue whether or not it's legitimate, just like any other defect.
Okay, now, in a criminal case, entrapment is almost always a defense when you're stung undercover, right?
Right.
Can you explain what entrapment is?
So, and that's the confusing when we're talking about on these types of situations. You may have somebody who's just surfing an internet chat site. They're contacted by somebody who says they're underage and, hey, would you like to meet? And they start engaging that conversation. That's the argument of entrapment here, because I would not have normally committed that crime, but you enticed me to commit that crime. And that's really what we're talking about.
Yet the law says you are allowed to present opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But there's a difference between enticement and offering opportunity.
Exactly. So do they further that desire, that connection where you're actually moving forward and make you take that next step?
Okay, also, I mean, you have this guy that said, you know, and the attorney was lying. Now, cops lie all the time undercover, but attorneys apparently can't.
That's the big question, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the attorney lied and said, I'm a young girl, I'm 12, I'm 13, or whatever, I'd like to meet you at Walmart, can that be a defense that she was lying and wasn't supposed to? Because there's no law. Is there a law that says you can't lie as an attorney, or is it an ethics violation?
Ethical violation, yeah. So what we're doing is, if an attorney specifically misrepresents something, then that is a violation of the ethics board.
Do you think it's enough to get an arrest overturned or dismissed? The charge, I mean.
It could be under certain circumstances, yeah, because an attorney committing the violation, they're going to obviously be sanctioned. Years and years ago, there was a district attorney that pretended he was a public defender to talk to one of the subjects.
Oh, my God.
And he did not get in trouble very bad, whereas a defense attorney probably would have been disbarred.
Oh, my God. But he pretended to be a defense counsel to talk to some of these guys, so heard the lowdown and used it against them?
Yes.
How could he get away with that?
There's sometimes that double standard.
Joe, is that guy still around?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, is this well known? I mean, this is a well-known case?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Actually, I can tell you off air.
All right, thanks. Yeah. All right, Joe, thank you, by the way. Joe is a criminal defense attorney on our referral list, referralist.com, 303-429-6200. Thank you. Okay, let's talk to Lou. Lou, what's happening?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good. How can we help you?
I just wanted to know, the Broncos took away my season tickets that I had for many years because I sold them.
Yes.
And they said they won't give them back to me.
Right.
And I was just wondering, they never sent out a notice. They never sent out anything. It's not even, I don't think, in their code of conduct.
Yeah, but it is. It is in the rules. We went over this before. There's something in the rules, not the rules, whatever you call it, with the terms and conditions when you buy the tickets. Mark, you looked it up.
Well, yeah, they can change any time. I mean, that's the main part.
But you did look it up. There was something about selling the tickets.
Yeah, they frown on it.
And
but they can. The bottom line was, in their actual terms, it came down to this: they can take them away for any reason at any time.
Right.
Okay.
Lou, how long have you had them?
I don't know, 15 years.
And you were basically just never going, just making the spread.
No, I was giving them to my daughter and my grandkids last year. I was sick. My wife was sick. And
well, that's wait. That's a lot different. How did they know you didn't go?
I don't know.
That's weird. How do they know, by the way?
No, my understanding is if you list them on the secondary ticket exchange markets, that's how they find out.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, how else would they know? Lou, how else would they know?
Well, I sold them through the NFL ticket exchange, which they recommended. And
okay, so you sold them on the ticket exchange to your kids?
No. My kids went to a preseason game. They're only 4 and 6 years old, and they couldn't sit through the whole game, and they said, we'd rather wait till next year. So
Lou, what I'm asking is this. How many times did you sell your tickets?
Last year?
Yeah.
Probably 7 of them.
Yeah.
7 out of 18.
Yeah, that's probably why, Lou. Yeah, they're allowed to do it. 303-713-TALK. Pat, go ahead. What's going on, Pat?
Hey, Tom. I've got a quick question. Can you educate me a little on hair plugs?
Yes, sir. Hair plugs is a procedure where they go to a donor region on your head. Many bald guys or thinning guys have areas on their head that grows hair. They take a bunch of plugs from that area, a strip of hair, and then they transplant them into parts where you don't have hair growth. It's a procedure. Now, that's a hair transplant, right? That's what you're calling it, right? Okay.
Yes.
It's an absolute, positively wonderful procedure for some people. If you're thinning in hair and you have a good donor region, it's excellent. If you're totally bald, it's a waste of time. It always looks weird. However, if you just want to thicken up a thinning area, it works really well. And they have a new procedure now that can get it done at random, quicker. It's not in rows. It looks a lot better. It's computerized.
I thought they took it from, or some of them took it from the pubic region and put on your head.
Never. That's all a myth. Never, ever, ever. So listen, here's the deal. It really does work, Pat. But listen, I have heard, okay, and I've been talking to Dr. Dean Jones. He has had PRP injections, which is platelet-rich plasma. He's been doing that to himself. Well, not himself. He hasn't been, but he's had it done to himself. And he is convinced that he is seeing new hair growth. And in fact, we had another, Dr. Gershon said he used PRP to grow hair, and Julian Gershon. And then we had some other doctors around the country reporting that platelet-rich plasma, that's your own plasma, and they take your blood, spin it down, they get the platelets, and they re-inject them into your head. It's thickening scalps and growing hair. And that is very promising according to the research. I'm looking at a lot of research. I'm not looking at the charlatans who are saying, never be bald again and all of that. I will tell you this, Pat, none of the creams or topicals work. Even Rogaine, even though Rogaine is scientifically, or minoxidil, they're scientifically proven to grow hair, that you have to use so much for so long, and then if you stop, it falls out, and it's a very weak hair growth. The best so far, hair plugs will do the job. Also, PRP, I hear, is getting really good results. And then there's one other one. There's a pill that you take, and that pill helps not so much to grow hair, but it keeps you from losing more hair. And I forget the name of that pill, but a good doctor who does hair restoration will know about that pill. The only downside to that pill is it does have an effect on, for some, and I'm just going to say erections. I don't know how else to put it. It does have an effect on that, according to some men.
They're saying stem cells, too.
No, yes, stem cells, but Mark, it's the PRP. You don't have to go so far as stem cells. The PRP is a little cheaper than stem cells, and the treatments are way cheaper, and they say it's getting just as good results. But anyway...
Now, do they know if this PRP has any side effects or not yet?
No, there's no side effects. It's your own blood. No. There's zero side effects.
Okay.
I mean,
so it's your... Dr. Dean Jones would be a place to
Dr. Dean Jones is doing it. Yes, he is. He's on, and he's Stem Cell Institute of America here in town as well. But Dr. Dean, get his number for us. I'll put it up for you if you want to listen. In fact, I'll be doing, Dr. Dean, you ought to call him directly, Dr. Dean Jones. We'll get that number. He's on my referral list, too, at referrallist.com. All right, time to talk to Al Aramis at Pro Auto Care. Hey, Al, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Let's talk about this
My
Pro.
hair's growing good, too.
Yeah, let's talk about this Pro Pack for $25. What does it include?
Yeah. Well, it includes a lot of stuff, but I first want to say, we're doing that for $25 because we've been in business 25 years.
Yep.
And the standard I set for myself with what I've done 38 years ago, I'm a certified master technician. I'm also certified in multiple lines. And why that matters is that's the same stuff I ask for my employees and the guys that I hire. You can't be good unless you hire the best people.
That's right.
We're that good. And I give great service, take care of people, ethical. And so I thought, hey, you want to come in, get a great deal? I'm going to do a Pro Pack, which is synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation. I'm going to put wiper blades on the front of your car in standard size. $25. Try to go to the store and buy it for $25.
Can't do it.
You're not going to do it.
Can't do it.
Do it. This is Martino only. I'm not doing this anywhere else. This is where you get it. You got to listen to this show. Come and check us out.
And the number's easy, 303 Pro Auto, 303 Pro Auto near Evans and I-25 near Bowles and Santa Fe. The website 303proauto.com.
This report is brought to you by Discover Student Loans.
Seeing some relief for folks traveling on C-470 just south of the metro area. Earlier crash westbound C-470 at University has finally been...
Oh, they get it reversed. They take the head off the top of their head and put it in their pubic region. Yeah. Asians. Between 2010 and 12, there was a 78% increase. A lot of Korean women of Mongolian origin lose their pubic hair.
In some Asian countries, pubic hair is a sign of health and fertility.
So they get it transferred from their head down there. Costs $2,000, lasts around 2 hours. And you can do it the other way around, but they say it'll look awful weird. Which I probably would agree with. You got one little spot of really bizarre hair over here.
You always scratching it?
Yeah. You no longer put your hands down your pants, you just keep them like this, under your hat.
What the hell are you thinking talking about?
How do we get into this?
Now, there's something Seinfeld never talked about.
He did get that rug.
When you buy 2 Champion windows, you get 1 free plus 60-month low-interest financing. Champion
George.
65 windows are installed by expert craftsmen backed by Champion's exclusive lifetime warranty on everything, including installation. And now, for a limited time, save thousands.
Isn't it weird, culture to culture, how it changes?
It is.
And unmatched lifetime warranties. Schedule today for your free in-home consultation.
That's gotta hurt, Howard.
That's GetChampion.
You think so?
Oh, man.
America's Wealth Management
Plugging
Show
it?
will air at noon for Must-Know Retirement Strategies.
Yeah.
Biden, you got plugs. I
Tune
mean,
to
you
America's
look like
Wealth
plugs.
Management Show this Saturday at noon on Spot. Visit LifeCertain.com to discover the necessary financial planning for retirement.
Okay, let's talk about Art of Granite. If you need granite, Art of Granite is the place to go. You know, Mitch Floria has been around for years, and Art of Granite is a place to go in Golden. And it all starts first. You don't have to run out there right away. How about just a phone call? And you give them some, measurements over the phone, or you can text him a picture, he'll tell you, or email him, he'll tell you how to do it. He'll give you a preliminary price that'll be pretty darn close because, most of his prices are around the same. When you then pick specific granite, it'll change a little. He lets you purchase granite wholesale anywhere you want on his wholesale account or from him. And Mark and Suzanne, who've used him, say he has a great selection of granite himself. He also has cabinets direct from the manufacturer. And they love using him. They said the entire process was one of the best experiences they had and was the lowest price they could find anywhere. So if you're looking for great quality and great prices, whether you're in the mountain areas, mountain communities, or along the Front Range, 7 days a week, artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Whatever you do in the kitchen, he does in the bathroom free. So if you do the counters, you'll get a vanity top free. If you do the cabinet, you'll get a vanity free. 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net.
This is Steven Tyler. When I wrote Janie's Got a Gun, I was amazed by the outpouring of love from fans.
And
I
meaning, doesn't it?
Our listeners.
That's weird. That's pretty good.
Someone you know is suffering from abuse, call the National Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422-44. Paradigm is 5. Voice your support by visiting janiesfund.org today.
Hey, if you're looking for a beautiful atmosphere to buy floor coverings and you don't want to be lost in a big giant warehouse, but you still want that great quality flooring, but you want the personalized attention of a design consultant, I recommend Paradigm Interiors. Paradigm on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. So many of our friends are visiting there and reporting great things about Paradigm. You get all of the great pricing. You get first quality merchandise, never any seconds or thirds, and you get it all in a really convenient location, as I said, on Evans, just west of Santa Fe. And they can have the product to you within a couple days, and they supervise all installation from beginning to end. They never just let you go or hand you off to a bunch of people they don't know. 303-630-9204, 630-9204. That's Paradigm Flooring, flooring Denver since 2003.
Want to know what's going on? Follow us on Twitter at 630KHOW.
An iHeart radio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Don't forget our Insurance Help Center, 303-771-HELP, 771-4357 until 4 o'clock today. If you have your declarations page or any part of your policy and you want to compare prices, they are giving people prices and saving money. Do we have any examples at all?
Yeah, Tom, I've got a ton of them.
Now, by the way, every time we do this, we usually save thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, what do we got?
Okay, Tom, we've got someone that was with Farmers for over 20 years. They're paying $5,245. We moved him to auto owners for $2,722.
$3,000 savings.
Yep.
$3,000. It's unbelievable from one phone call. Okay, what else?
Okay, then we've got, let's see here. We've got someone that was with State Farm for 15 years.
Oh, no, they're really paying over.
Yeah, they were paying $7,708 a year. We moved them to auto owners also for $5,447.
$2,000.
And then an Allstate customer was paying $3,144 a year. We moved him to Travelers for $2,381 annually.
But that's great. I just love doing this.
Hey, this case that Joe was talking about, I'm reading about it. It's crazy, this DA. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, what? Yeah,
who disguised himself as a public defender. Well,
who is it?
There's a little more to it. Well, the guy's name, in fact, till this day, he's Chief Deputy Attorney Mark Pautler. Pautler.
So this guy literally.
Yeah, but there's so much more to it, okay? You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting as hell. So the guy that he does this to is a axe murderer. He killed like 2 or 3 people. He has a 4th person he's holding hostage. The cops are trying to negotiate with him to come out so he doesn't kill this other person. He gets on there saying he's a public defender, trying to put the fire out to what's going on that very second.
That's different.
So that's to put it in context.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, the guy came out, I guess, so it worked, but ultimately this guy did get suspended for 3 months.
Yeah, but he said he was a public defender. I mean, to save that life.
Yep, he said he was a public defender. It's crazy.
All right.
Torturing and raping a 4th. So, in other words, he was literally torturing and raping somebody. The cops showed up. They're trying to negotiate it, and this guy, I guess, had got it done.
Wow. My hat's off to him, actually. Brittany.
Yes.
You have a medical malpractice question. I'm going to bring up an attorney from our referral list at referrallist.com, Marco Bendinelli, with the Bendinelli Law Firm. Go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, I ended up having a baby in 2014, and I developed a subdermal hematoma. And at the time...
What does that mean?
I ended up getting blood in between the skull and the brain.
Oh.
And it ended up pushing my brain.
Oh, for you. It happened to you, not the baby.
Yeah, to me. Happened to me.
And was this something that the doctors did that you're blaming them for?
Well, we believe recently we were looking up because I had to have brain surgery, and my neurosurgeon said that he'd never heard anything like this. Everyone tells me they've never heard anything like this from having a baby.
And how long ago was it?
It was May of 2014.
Okay, and you had this hematoma as a result of having the child? Is that what your doctor said?
Well, the doctors tell me to this day they really don't know how I got it.
But why are you thinking it was your delivery?
Well, I believe it was the epidural.
The epidural. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, what do you think happened with the epidural?
Well, when they placed the epidural, I told them it didn't feel right. I felt like it was in the wrong spot. It wasn't working.
Was it so you didn't get numb?
No. Mm-mm. And it was causing a lot of pain. And
okay.
So they said, well, we'll take it out and replace it. And I said, no, don't do that. So they just started pumping me up more with numbing medicine. And we were reading up online that this actually happened. We read 4 other cases around the world but all 4 mothers died.
Okay, so you had brain surgery, and what did they do?
They went in and they drilled a hole in my skull and basically drained the blood. But the problem was, after I had the baby, I kept telling the doctors and the nurses, I said, my head feels funny. It feels like I have whiplash or something. And they said, oh, and I said, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts. They said, oh, it's probably just straining from having the baby. And they were pumping me up with aspirin. And that's a big no-no when you have blood in the brain.
Right.
And so 4 days later, they sent us home.
Right.
I went back in that night because the pain was just so bad. And that's finally when they did a CAT scan.
And they found it.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we need to put you in ICU.
So who do you think did you wrong?
Well, I believe the epidural, and I also believe the hospital pumped me up with aspirin and not taking any kind of scans or anything of my head.
And that was the same day as the epidural?
Well, yeah.
Marco Bendinelli, what do you think, Marco? Have you heard of this?
I've never heard of it.
But I've heard of complications with epidurals all day long.
Well, sure. But I mean, this specific type of complication, I haven't heard of it.
So, first of all, rather than saying whether she has a case or not, what would she what do you have to have a case in this particular case? What would you have to have?
So, in Colorado, the statute of limitations for a medical malpractice case is 2 years. So, now, that can be extended, okay? So it's not a hard and fast deadline.
How can it be extended? It was, when in 14 was it, Brittany?
It was May 20th, 2014.
Okay, so May 20th. So therefore...
What happened on May 20th?
Yeah.
The surgery happened. What happened?
On May 20th is when I had the baby, and that's when the blood got in there.
Well, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. I didn't mean your brain surgery, yeah.
No, the problem we had is when I went back 4 days later, the blood coagulated, so they couldn't do brain surgery right away. They had to put me in the ICU. So they were waiting to see...
When did you have your brain surgery?
I had it sometime in June.
See, because even if you made the argument you didn't know until then, I don't know how could it be extended, Marco?
Well, so the law says that you have 2 years from the date of medical malpractice to file a claim, or 2 years from the date that you learn of the potential malpractice, or where you should have learned by the exercise of reasonable diligence. So you can go past the 2 years if you say, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. However, when you file a case beyond 2 years, the lawyers on the other side are going to fight you that, with the exercise of reasonable diligence, you should have known.
Okay, hold on 1 second, because I do have to do this. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, Rocky's probably has it. Rocky's asks that you shop around and compare, but compare apples with apples, so you know what you're getting. Even take notes. Rocky's has all of their prices fully disclosed. They have 40 lenders to choose from, great trade-in values because they sell most trades there. They are pet-friendly, kid-friendly, even family-friendly, of course, with kids. They love them, and they have plenty to do while you're shopping for a car. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. Here's the deal, okay? There should be no mystery when buying a car, and that's what Rocky does. They demystify the whole thing. It's so simple. There's a price, and hey, if you want to make an offer less than that, go ahead. They gladly mark the prices on the car, so you'll know when they're negotiating or not, and you'll also know what kind of prices you should get for your car, because they'll tell you straight up, and you can compare that to what other dealers tell you. But here's the bottom line. When you trade a car in, shop the difference. Don't let someone lie to you about how much they're giving you for your car if they're only going to charge more for the other car. When you're shopping a trade, shop the difference. When you're shopping for cars, of course, shop Rockies and put them on the list, and you'll see the difference. Again, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Free and easy drive across the Mile High City this Monday afternoon. As only a few minor delays around town currently exist. Westbound I-70 seeing slower speeds from Dahlia to Brighton Boulevard. Westbound I-270 also seeing minor delays from Quebec up to Vasquez. And we're also still seeing construction work I-25 northbound at 84th. That road work taking place.
So, Mark, that guy was a hero in your mind, you think? What do you think?
Yeah, actually, I started reading it. The guy didn't necessarily have a hostage during the police standoff. I can't tell if he did or didn't.
I'm wondering, I thought he went into like the jail cell under defense.
No. It was a hostage. I don't know if there was a hostage or not, but it was a standoff between that guy and the cops, and he basically finally picked the phone up.
Concrete lives here in about 5 seconds.
The work. Mederma Advanced Scar Gel from the Mederma family of skincare solutions.
Okay, if you are looking to get your driveway lifted or your patio, you may say, what the heck is that? Well, have you seen when driveways sink or a patio will sink or some sidewalks sink? Sometimes they heave. That's because they're sinking on another place. Well, It all happens because you have something wrong with the substrate. Something is wrong underneath, and you have to have that analyzed and looked at and fixed. I recommend Devin John's concrete lift and stabilization. He doesn't just lift it, but he stabilizes it to prevent future movement. Now, there are voids underneath. He can find them. He can tell you how big they are and what you need to do to fix them. He has 2 solutions for you. The only contractor with both. He does both concrete jacking and poly jacking. Both of them are important for different uses. So with the poly jacking, there's a plastic polymer he uses, and it's great for certain situations. And then mud jacking is better for other situations. And again, since he does both and he has the equipment for both, you can call him and he'll evaluate and tell you which one is better. You can go to his website, concretelift.com, concretelift.com. It's amazing he has that URL, concretelift.com, or give him a call. On your smartphone, you hit pound 250 send. You know, it's a fraction of the cost of tearing out and replacing concrete. Try this first. Devin Johns will tell you the truth, whether he can fix it or not. That's concrete lift and stabilization. The pound sign 250 send. When they answer, you say the keyword concrete lift, and you'll be texted all the information. Pound sign 250 send.
If you're new to this program, here's a little word of advice. I'm 12 years old.
It's Michael Brown.
Yes, I like to laugh. It's
My show. Later today at 4 on Denver's Talk Station, 6:30.
Stop stirring it up, Dan. I can read your mind. I can read your mind. It's just nothing but deviousness. Right?
You know it. I know it.
Yeah, we both know it.
Tim knows it.
He was the first.
Brownie knows it.
Got that shitty grin. He's always looking for trouble.
I'm just always happy.
You should see the banners he's putting up.
When you buy 2 Champion windows, you get 1 free plus 60 months.
You think this here takes away from
One line less 30.
there?
Nope, I like it.
I can make it smaller.
I think it looks good.
Warranty on everything, including installation. And now, for a limited time, save about
15.
window free for every 2 that you buy. Superior products and unmatched lifetime warranties. Schedule today for your free in-home compromise.
5.
Getchampion.com. That's getchampion.com. The heat is coming whether you believe it or not. It's a little cooler today. Well, it's getting warm now. But I'll tell you what, you can get half off an AC system right now with the purchase of a new furnace. And it's best to always couple them anyway together. And you do it at a great company, Plumb Line Services. So half off a new AC system with a qualifying furnace, plus you get $1,370 in utility company rebates and 0% financing for 12 months. And, of course, 10-year parts and labor warranty. I love that part. That part alone is worth a lot. Think about that. You don't have to do anything for 10 years on this thing. That's Plumb Line Services, 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086, plumblineservices.com.
The Glenn Beck Program.
May I suggest that perhaps the Trump administration is really God's way of keeping us in business?
Call it divine intervention.
I'm just saying.
Call it destiny.
For all of the liberals who might be freaking out.
Call it fate.
We've already been down this road. We've already...
Whatever it is,
come to us.
He's in the right place at the right time.
We did it.
Weeknights at 7 on 630 KHEL.
Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. A place that I go. In fact, I have an appointment today. They do a tinnitus treatment second to none. It's a permanent solution for tinnitus. And all you have to do is call them, and they'll do an evaluation to see if you're a candidate. And if you're not, because your tinnitus has to be in a certain frequency, no matter, they still have other treatments, and they have hearing devices as well. So if you have tinnitus, if you have a hearing loss, if you have one or both, I trust Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa at Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. They are really good people and people that I've known for years, and you should get to know them too. They have free test drives for hearing aids. That means you can use one with no obligation to see if it's a good fit, to see if it works for you. And there's no obligation. Call them for more details. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Helpforringing.com.
A good shutdown would help make this country's wallet great again.
Believe me.
It would also make time for a nice trip down to Mar-a-Lago. Play a little golf, have a beautiful meal. Terrific. To make your wallet great again, never shut down your radio. Okay?
Listen to win $1,000 every hour on the hour. Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Of all the wallets, mine is obviously the greatest.
$1,000.
But yours could be pretty good too, okay?
On 630 KHOW. Sean Hannity.
President Trump fired the FBI director. Comey has failed you, the American people. Nothing but a political hack and would not deliver equal justice under the law.
Hannity coming up today at 1 on Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's talk. Brittany, you had this problem in 2014. I don't know if we can extend it. Marco Bendinelli, what do you think? Do you think it's too far to stretch from, let's say, March of 2014 all the way into 16 to get it to have a statute of limitations?
Tom, I do, and unfortunately for Brittany, but, I think she may also have, two other problems that maybe even, well, not bigger than that, but she also has two other problems.
Okay, well, we don't have time to explore it, but Brittany, we'd be happy to give you his number. It's 1-800-ATTORNEY. You can call him. He loves initial consultations. 1-800-ATTORNEY. No charge for those. Don't forget Compass Insurance Group till 4, 303-771-HELP.
Some moments you remember with absolute clarity, like driving away in a brand new Lincoln MKC during the Road to Riches promotion at Monarch Casino Blackhawk this May. Enter to win your share of cash prizes or even a brand new car. Your odds are better when you bet on fun. Must be 21. Management reserves all rights.
They're finally here. Hi, it's Pat Woodard, and this week only Hanson McLean is hosting its free 75-minute retirement workshops in Cherry Creek, Broomfield, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs. Get answers to questions like, can I afford to retire? How can I make my money last? Should I pay off my mortgage? And much more. Hanson McLean has been hosting these popular workshops for 20 years. Thousands of people just like you have gotten the answers they needed. But time is short. Go to HansonMcLean.com and reserve your spot today.
Sometimes getting stuck in rush hour traffic can be totally worth it. Ross Kaminsky.
You're the reason